over. Nearly every Democrat voted no, including Washington Representative Pramila Jayapal.
Shame on you. I'm a hell no on this bill.
6 Democrats did cross party lines. Among them is Washington Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. In a statement, Congressman Dan Newhouse says, "Our government is finally reopened and we are making progress on a full year of funding bills." He noted the package brings more than $8 million to central Washington projects, including hospitals and public safety. And if you're heading to Starbucks this morning, you may see workers striking outside. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is outside a Starbucks in Seattle's Queen Anne neighborhood.
92% of Starbucks unionized workers voted for this strike more than a week ago. Now, they're rallying for better pay, also staffing issues and labor violations. Starbucks Workers United, the union for Starbucks workers, represents more than 9,500 baristas across 550 cafes. They could walk off the job this morning and some locations this afternoon. The union says the open-ended strike will start with more than 65 stores in over 40 cities across the country.
The company says only a handful of locations will be impacted and adds Starbucks is committed to bargaining in good faith. Meanwhile, a jury ordered Boeing to pay nearly $36 million to the family of a woman killed in the 2019 crash of a 737 MAX jet in Ethiopia. KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker has details.
The jury reached the verdict of the case of Shikra Garg. She was one of 157 victims of that crash. She was a 32-year-old UN worker. This is the first verdict reached against Boeing from the 2 deadly crashes in 2018 and 2019. 7 more court cases remain. Earlier lawsuits have been settled before even reaching trial.
In a statement, a Boeing spokesperson says the company is deeply sorry to all the loved ones who are lost on those 2 flights. Redmond's controversial license plate cameras will remain off following last night's unanimous city council vote. The 5-0 decision makes it official what happened last week when council members asked the mayor and the police chief to deactivate the flock system immediately. This is Council President Vanessa Kritzer.
The council was interested in being able to take action to suspend use of this system so that we would allow for more discussion. We've scheduled at our committee of the whole meeting next week on public safety.
That meeting is set for next Tuesday. And it's not official yet, but Kitty Wilson appears to be headed to Seattle City Hall. She now holds a nearly 2,000 vote lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell. This week, Wilson said she's confident she's going to win.
I'm a community organizer. I'm not going to stop being a community organizer in office. And that means that I really want to engage people, especially young people, especially people that maybe feel that their voice has not been heard in City Hall.
Harrell says he'll speak to the people of Seattle today at noon. A recount is still possible, though, although there are media outlets that have already declared Wilson for mayor. A Navy veteran is thanking an Alaska Airlines crew for quick action during a medical emergency. Liana Rupert tells KIRO 7 TV she had a seizure without warning on a flight from Austin to Seattle.
They kept me sitting in a specific way where I couldn't choke and I couldn't cause muscle damage or anything like that. I feel like if they weren't there, I don't think I would still be here.
And we're learning that the Chelan County Sheriff's Office says a man armed with 2 samurai-style swords was arrested on Tuesday.
He threatened a resident, smashed car windows, and caused chaos before barricading himself in his home, even threatening deputies. The East Cascade SWAT team eventually moved in and arrested him. Now faces multiple charges, including second-degree assault.
Now to your KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. Everett to Seattle about 28 minutes right now. Linwood to Seattle about 15 minutes. And for your KIRO Newsradio forecast, we have some low cloud cover this morning, a chance of isolated thunderstorms later this afternoon. Highs will be pretty mild. They'll be close to 60. Right now, it's about 52 in downtown Seattle. And coming up, the Hill reporter Max Rigo on the lingering impact of the government shutdown on air traffic. That's coming up next. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
The Jake and Spike Show.
If you guys are not watching on YouTube, you're missing the sight.
Weekdays noon to 3.
Luke Ducey joining us now in studio. People think he's a handsome fellow. Welcome to the show, Luke.
I thank you for saying that.
Well, I didn't say it. People in the audience say it.
Well, you're why we got the new cameras and lighting.
Nice. Oh,
they weren't doing that for us. Are you wearing like pancake makeup?
Like Edward Cullen.
I've been tanning.
Now, Edward's, is he the
he's a vampire.
Vampire from Twilight, right?
In the sun.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Adventure smarter with the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid, available now at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. Get all-wheel drive with financing from just 3.9%. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Treehouse. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a good-to-go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A good-to-go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Congressional lawmakers are set to meet today and vote on the Republican-led funding measure to reopen the federal government.
But in the meantime, flyers around the nation continue to see massive flight delays and cancellations, a lot of them fearing the impact of the shutdown and how it might run through the busy Thanksgiving holiday travel week.
A lot of people are worried. Covering the story for TheHill.com is reporter Max Arrigo. Max, good morning. What's the current situation at airports across the country?
Good morning. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. So, obviously, the shutdown, it may be coming to an end. There may be a light at the end of the tunnel here in D.C., but there's still going to be an impact on air travel, even if it ends, in the near future. So yesterday, during a press conference, the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, said that the flight restrictions, which currently they're at 6% reductions at 40 high-traffic airports across country, he said that those would only be lifted only when the data says we should. He didn't really provide many more details on what that data actually says right now. But he also said he's concerned that controllers will not return in full force once that shutdown ends. Obviously, because they're set to receive back pay once the shutdown ends, according to federal law. But the president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, the union, Nick Daniels, he said on Monday at a press conference that back in 2019, when there was a 35-day shutdown, when that ended, it took 2.5 months for these controllers to be made whole. So they may not receive their full back pay until 2.5 months from now, if that is a similar situation now.
Wow, 2.5 months.
Yeah. Obviously, Daniel said that they can receive partial payments, pretty soon. But in terms of their full paychecks, because again, they've missed 2 full paychecks since the shutdown began, and they were partially paid for the first paycheck after the shutdown began. So there's a lot of pay that they are missing out on.
I just want to underline that they've been doing the work. They've been showing up, not getting paid, and now it may take 2.5 months. Imagine that happening at a private business.
Yeah, and heading into the holidays, too.
Oh, my goodness. That is crazy, Max. What are we hearing from that side, from the workers and air traffic controllers?
Yeah, so, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, obviously that's the union that represents a lot of air traffic controllers. They're kind of the main, and their president, Nick Daniels, he's the main kind of spokesperson on behalf of these controllers. He obviously said, again, like I said, he prioritized ending the shutdown. He called for an end to the shutdown. He called for the House to pass the Senate pass bill, which the House is going to vote on this afternoon. He obviously said that he doesn't appreciate the fact that these controllers have been used as political pawns throughout the shutdown. But he said if there's any, and I'm paraphrasing him, but if there's any way to get the shutdown over, that should be the priority. In terms of the stories that we've heard from controllers, we actually saw Secretary Duffy go on CNN on Sunday. He went on State of the Union, and he said that roughly 15 to 20 controllers are retiring daily during the shutdown. For context, before the shutdown began, he was seeing about 4 controllers retire. So there's a big increase in retirements, and these people probably won't come back after the shutdown is over. So there's going to be a significant downstream effect from the shutdown, even when it ends, when it comes to the country's air traffic control. If you guys are curious, looking at the latest data for flight tracking, this is according to FlightAware. They're a great flight tracking site. When it comes to flights within, into, or out of the U.S. today, there's about 890 flights that have been canceled. Looking ahead to tomorrow, which is when 8% reductions are going to be in place at 40 high-traffic airports, there have already been over 790 U.S. flights that have been canceled. So there's still a lot of impacts to this.
Okay, best case scenario in the moments we have left here, Max, if we have the government reopened at the end of the week, when do we things get back to normal at airports?
Yeah, so Duffy had said that he would really prefer for the shutdown to end by the end of this week, because he said that if it continues into the weekend, there was going to be, he said, massively more disruption in air travel. He did say that, again, he has emphasized that it's going to take a while for the air travel system to return back to normal. But he did say that the preference would be for it to end before Thanksgiving, obviously, because millions of people will be traveling around the country, visiting their families, trying to be home for the holiday. So really, it's up in the air. It's very dependent on when the shutdown ends and when, as Duffy said, whether his concerns about whether air traffic controllers will come back into the office or into their facilities on day one, whether those concerns actually take heed. So can't really make a prediction on that until the shutdown actually ends, which, there appears to be some light at the end of the tunnel today, but we'll see.
Up in the air, works on a lot of different levels with this story, Max. That's Max Rigo from thehill.com. Thanks for your time this morning, Max.
Yep, thank you, guys.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, some clouds and steady rain this morning. Showers will continue in the afternoon. Highs will be close to 60. Right now, it's about 52 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with a Tech Talk, looking at the use of AI by the Seattle Police Department. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage. The VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, Oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 30th. Head to the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO Newsradio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, November 11th through November 17th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The government shutdown is officially over after 43 days. The president signed a bill last night to reopen the government. Most Democrats, though, oppose the legislation because it doesn't address rising health care costs. CBS's Nicole Killian reports.
The measure extends government funding through January 30th, pays back federal workers while reinstating those who were fired, and guarantees SNAP or food assistance benefits for a full year.
I will be casting my vote as a no. In fact, it will be a hell no.
Vote yes. If not, you're the ones that are taking money from needy families.
Democrats largely oppose the legislation, arguing it failed to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits for 20 million Americans facing rising health insurance premiums.
6 Washington Democrats did cross party lines. Among them is Washington Congressman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. Seattle appears to have made their choice. Multiple outlets called the race for Katie Wilson, but a recount is still possible. New results show Wilson holds nearly a 2,000 vote lead over Mayor Bruce Harrell, too big of a margin to overcome. Wilson addressed the media this week.
I believe in good government, and I believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside City Hall to make sure that our city bureaucracy is really delivering for the people of Seattle. I'm really excited about that work. Mayor Harrell says he'll address the people of Seattle today at noon. Meanwhile, thousands of Starbucks baristas are stirring up a protest. They plan to strike today at 4 p.m., turning the company's popular Red Cup Day into what they're calling the Red Cup Rebellion. Starbucks Workers United says the walkout is due to stalled contract talks with the company. The company says the vast majority of stores will not be impacted, adding Starbucks is committed to working out a fair deal. The union is pushing for better pay, schedules, and benefits. And thousands of more young children here in Washington will soon have access to free preschool.
Balmer Group is making a 10-year commitment to pay for up to 10,000 new seats in Washington's Early Childhood Education and Assistance Program, known as ECAP. The group will be putting up about $170 million a year. Governor Bob Ferguson.
As we're standing here today, it'd be hard to quantify how significant that investment will be for our state.
The grant kicks in 2026. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The owner of a North Seattle tattoo shop is speaking out, hoping the public can help identify a suspect that spent 10 hours trying to break in with a crowbar over the weekend. Ralph says what hurts the most about the attempt is that his shop is also a community space, recently organizing help for neighbors who have lost SNAP food benefits.
We're out here trying to be active members of the community and uplift people, bring people together. So it just leaves a big question mark as to why
Last year, thieves did break in and stole thousands of dollars worth of tattoo equipment. Over in Pierce County, the sheriff's office employee is facing serious charges. The department says an office assistant was fired after being charged with 2 felonies. Those charges include burglary and malicious mischief tied to domestic violence. Charging papers say it started with a fight between a mother and a daughter in Tacoma. Police say the daughter smashed her mom's phone and tossed things around the kitchen. According to the News Tribune, she left, but officers later arrested her at her apartment. She was booked into jail and arraigned yesterday. Ann McCoy's tenure as WSU's Cougars athletics director is over after less than 2 years. The school announced yesterday it was parting ways with McCoy, who was hired for the role in June 2024. She's been at Wazoo for about 20 years. Senior Deputy of Director of Athletics and Chief Operating Officer John Harlow is taking over as the interim athletic director. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Tacoma to Seattle, about 34 minutes right now. Puyallup to Renton, 18. Everett to Bellevue, about 23. And Marysville to Seattle, about 35 right now. For your forecast, we have clouds and steady rain this morning. Showers will continue in the afternoon. Highs will be near 60. Right now, it's about 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
In today's Tech Talk Part 2, in our look at how Seattle police are now weighing new rules for AI after a recent internal discovery set off alarms with watchdog groups. However, more and more police departments around the country are using AI to catch bad guys. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey talked with one of them.
Last August, Seattle's Office of Police Accountability received a complaint that a sworn officer used ChatGPT and Grammarly to help draft internal emails and blue team reports. Reports used to document things like citizen complaints, pursuits, and any use of force during an arrest. And the use of AI in preparing those reports is now raising red flags among police watchdog groups. However, police departments from New York City to Detroit to San Francisco use AI every day. Anchorage, Alaska Police Captain Amanda Fisher tells me they launched a pilot program to write police reports, but found
there were a couple of times where the accuracy was not complete, and they had to make changes to bring it up to the actual statement of fact.
It's the very thing that raises serious flags for those watchdog groups like the Electronic Privacy Information Center and Callie Schroeder, because
you can't necessarily count on it to be fully accurate in what it's doing. And with something like a police report, you really need it to be fully accurate.
Anchorage officers ended up not using AI for their reports.
They preferred writing them by themselves versus using the AI product that we were trying out.
They do use an AI platform called Closure to sift through massive data files,
searching for the needle in the haystack
for key pieces of evidence. Long suspect interviews, jailhouse phone recordings.
Within the first day of using the program for one of our investigators, that was what he did. He loaded some jail calls into the system and asked the question of, tell me about when he made admissions of guilt. And that would have taken that detective hours to find by listening to it, and had that information within minutes.
The use of AI to investigate suspects and even help write criminal referrals meant to persuade prosecutors to file charges is stirring debate. Fisher tells me their team takes the ethical and even possibly moral responsibility of that technology seriously. King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office spokesperson Casey McNerthney says they won't accept any criminal referral created with AI, at least for now.
We don't want King County to be the guinea pig for the rest of the nation.
And State Attorney General Nick Brown agrees there should be guardrails on AI and law enforcement, but admits putting them in place will be easier said than done.
Because the law is undefined and the tech changes so quickly.
And like a lot of others, he believes on one hand AI could create new challenges for law enforcement. However, on the other,
we can use those tools to streamline the work that they're doing so they can be more efficient and save taxpayers money. I think that's an exciting possibility.
The right answer, if there is one, might be somewhere between watchdog groups and Schroeder.
Really important to have police officers put down their thoughts and their memories immediately after an event happens.
And departments like Anchorage already using AI.
We're not implementing robots and removing the investigators. We're just adding tools to the toolbox that they utilize in these investigations.
Seattle police can use the city's AI policy as a guide. They are currently developing AI policy of their own. Coming up, we'll have national headlines. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The John Curley Show.
What is this world coming to? I ask you.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I loved going to the dump there in Fremont before it became the transfer station. This guy pulls up, and from the back of his truck, he looked like he had his grandmother's entire house. And I just waited, and every time he'd throw something in, I would just spear it like a fish.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube, weekdays 3 to 7, and download the KIRO Newsradio app.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio.
It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
CBS News Brief. The House votes and the president signs legislation to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
With my signature, the federal government will now resume normal operations.
What's next? CBS's Michael Wallace.
SNAP benefits should be fully restored later today, but it could take a couple of weeks for Head Start early childhood programs to get the funds they need to restart. The airlines will need a week or so to shuffle their planes and crews and get their schedules back on track.
The Smithsonian says the National Museum of American History and the Air and Space Museum will reopen tomorrow, the National Zoo by Monday. The president, after the release of a new batch of emails from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, he's responding. One of those emails claims Mr. Trump knew, quote, about the girls. Aaron Navarro.
President Trump wrote on Truth Social that congressional Democrats are bringing this story up to, quote, deflect on how badly they've done on the government shutdown.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, clouds and steady rain this morning. Showers will continue in the afternoon. Highs will be close to 60. Right now, it's about 52 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, former state Attorney General Rob McKenna explains a case heading to the Supreme Court surrounding how mail-in ballots are counted. That's next. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online.
and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We've got a style of play no one wants to go up against. Big hits that turn the tides in our favor. Noise that shakes opponents to their core.
That was 112 decibels in that last tackle.
Disruption is in our DNA.
It's intercepted! Seahawks ball! Interception made by Love!
Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football.
Break back, throws it! Touchdown! Touchdown Seahawks!
Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
The U.S. Supreme Court decided this week to hear a case in that questions the legitimacy of counting mail-in ballots that arrive to election centers in the days following the election day.
And to explain the case and how it could potentially impact the way our state counts ballots, we're joined by former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Okay, good morning, Rob. Bring us through this case. Where does it come from, and what's the challenge here?
Well, the case that the Supreme Court's going to hear comes from the state of Mississippi. And it arises from a challenge filed by the Republican National Committee and the Libertarian Party in that state to Mississippi's law, which allows mail-in absentee ballots to be counted if they're received by election officials within 5 business days after Election Day. Now, the Republican National Committee argues that this violates federal law, which establishes the day for federal elections as the first Tuesday after the first Monday of the month, I think is how they phrase it. And they're arguing that Mississippi's law is preempted by that federal law, and therefore no ballots can be counted if they're received after Election Day.
Of course, Washington is one of just a handful of states that counts these mail-in ballots after an election, as long as they've been postmarked for Election Day. If these justices rule with the Mississippi judges, could this potentially impact our state's system?
It could for federal elections. Let's be clear about that. We're talking about the definition of federal law of, quote, Election Day for federal elections. So presumably it would not have any impact on ballots in non-federal elections. I don't know what you... But I don't know what you do with races that are on the federal election day, right? Like for governor.
Yeah.
But apparently the votes for the federal races could not be counted if the Supreme Court overturns Mississippi's law and says it's preempted by federal statute. Now, since it's a statutory question, this could also be resolved by Congress. They could amend the law to allow states to accept ballots within a reasonable time after Election Day if they're postmarked by Election Day. And there actually are about 30 states and the District of Columbia which allow postmarked mail ballots to be counted. In our state, we're all mail-in, but in other states that don't have all mail-in elections, they'll allow ballots to be counted after Election Day if they're coming from overseas residents and coming from military stationed overseas. So groups representing veterans are very concerned about this. They've weighed in support of the state of Mississippi and its law because obviously they want their votes to be counted.
You very strongly argued on behalf of Washington election laws when you were AG, Rob. What would you be arguing here if you knew that you were at least going to file an amicus brief?
Well, I would argue that that as long as the votes are cast by Election Day, it is not disruptive to allow them to be counted if they're received after Election Day within a reasonable period of time. It doesn't disrupt it doesn't prevent the state from meeting the federal deadlines for certifying the election to allow those ballots to be counted. And so states are given a lot of control over how elections are conducted, just like I argued in the Supreme Court that our state is entitled to have a top two primary. It's unusual, but we're entitled to do it. The Supreme Court agreed with us on that. It's an illustration of where the states have authority over how to conduct their elections. And, a lot of states, a majority of states have concluded it's reasonable to allow ballots to arrive if under certain circumstances, whether it's an absentee ballot, a military voter overseas, what have you. I think that should be the case here too. But the Republican National Committee is arguing that the Fifth Circuit, which overturned Mississippi's law, in other words, the case was brought to the federal district court. The federal district court judge ruled in favor of the state and its mail-in ballot law. The Fifth Circuit overturned that, saying that Mississippi's law is preempted by federal law, which sets Election Day on that Tuesday. And the Republican National Committee is arguing, well, I'm quoting them now, there could be chaos and suspicions of impropriety if thousands of absentee ballots flow in after Election Day and potentially flip the results of an election. They also said that, allowing ballots to arrive after Election Day and to be counted takes away from the time to resolve post-election disputes. Well, the fact is these are not votes that were cast after Election Day. They're just ballots that took a little while to reach, to reach the election officials in that state. And, frankly, I think if this were just about military mail-in ballots, the RNC wouldn't have brought this case. But because more states are moving to more and more absentee voting, which they don't like, they decided to challenge the law.
We are talking with former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. The president claims late-arriving ballots undermine confidence in elections. Would you agree?
They might, by some people who don't understand how elections work. But they shouldn't, because, we have a firm requirement in our state, as most states do, that if you mail in your ballot, it has to be postmarked by Election Day. You have to cast your vote by Election Day. The fact that they're not all counted by that day doesn't mean you shouldn't have confidence in the election. It just means that, not all votes are returned at the same time, but they're all cast either before Election Day or by Election Day. And I think that's the key test.
Okay, when can we expect a ruling? And if you were forced to gamble on what side wins, who wins?
I hate it when you ask me.
I know. That's why I ask it.
Boy, this is a tough one. You already had the Court of Appeals rule against the Mississippi law, but I'm going to wager that the Supreme Court will allow states to accept ballots after Election Day if they were cast by Election Day, if the votes were cast, because of the impact of not doing that on military voters, for example. So I'm going to predict that it'll be a split decision, but it'll uphold Mississippi's law and overturn the Fifth Circuit. We should have a ruling on this by late June, early July next year. Argument will be held sometime before that in the first or second quarter of 2026.
That's a pretty specific prediction. Thanks for playing along.
Don't hold me to it. But I think that's right.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, clouds and steady rain this morning. Showers will continue in the afternoon. Highs will be near 60. Right now, it's about 52 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories here on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State
roofing, the last roof you'll ever need. To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
The Home Cover Alliance Warehouse Clearance Sale ends soon. Save 25 to 75% and enjoy 18-month 0% financing. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The end of the government shutdown will spell relief at the airports, but it's expected to take a while. Correspondent Chris Van Cleve at the airport in Phoenix.
Airlines are hoping they can seamlessly move into the Thanksgiving travel rush, which picks up the Friday before Thanksgiving. Aviation analytics company Cirium crunched some booking data that shows there was a pullback in the pace that people were booking travel for Thanksgiving starting around November 1st. And while Thanksgiving does look to be busier than last year, it may be less busy than earlier indications were pointing. And that tells us that at least some people either opted not to take a trip or opted to wait and see how things were going as delays and cancellations were climbing over the last 2 weeks.
There are more than 1,500 delays and cancellations in the U.S. so far today. The first lawsuit's been filed over the botulism outbreak linked to an infant formula.
A Kentucky couple claims By Heart Whole Nutrition formula caused their 4-month-old daughter's botulism. She was hospitalized for 5 days. By Heart has recalled the formula, which the CDC has linked to at least 15 cases since August. Dr. Stephen Abrams at the University of Texas says botulism can weaken an infant's neurological system.
They can't move as much. They get constipated. Eventually, if it's severe, which can happen especially in babies, they'll stop breathing.
This is the first known outbreak of infant botulism tied to powdered formula. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
An attempted murder indictment in a controversial police chase in Baltimore.
When a police officer threatens the safety of those who are sworn to protect, it erodes the crucial trust between the community and law enforcement.
City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. CBS's Tom Hansen has more.
The man appears to refuse and starts walking away. Officer Parks then allegedly tells the individual he's going to call the dogs and come get him before returning to his vehicle and pursuing the man through a vacant lot in his cruiser at a high rate of speed, allegedly striking him and nearly running him over.
An atmospheric river is bringing threats of high gusty winds and heavy rain to the West Coast. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano.
San Francisco, eventually Santa Barbara, slight risk of seeing some flooding there. Then tomorrow down across parts of Southern California. And then over the weekend, especially on Saturday, Los Angeles and San Diego could see some heavy rain there and maybe some debris flows of much size.
The very last penny's been minted in Philadelphia. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Many big chains from Kroger to McDonald's are encouraging electronic payments and exact change, or they say they'll round cash purchases to the nearest nickel.
Dow futures are down 107. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
6:03 Thursday morning. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And we are already struggling a little bit in places. We've been working with a crash on eastbound 18 right before you get to the Valley Freeway, and we're backed up all the way to I-5, so there's at least a 15-minute delay getting down the hill. It was in the right-hand lane, but it looks like they're in the process of cleaning it up or finally getting that lane open. Either way, there's a pretty big backup there. This is spilling over onto northbound I-5 as well, so 25 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way is about 10 minutes behind schedule, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 40. Valley Freeway itself, 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. All of the braking you're going to hit is right there through the lane restrictions in Pacific. Rented to Bellevue then at about 20 minutes. Coming down from the north end, a pretty good drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, 35 minutes to start the day. Olympia to Tacoma's running at 40 minutes. Just remember, it's rainy out there, so watch your distance and please keep your lights on. This report brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Traffic is stressful, but buying your next car doesn't have to be. Subaru Puyallup has limited number of remaining 25 models with exceptional savings. SubaruPuyallup.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. Seattle voters appear to have made their choice. Multiple outlets called the mayoral race for Katie Wilson, but a recount is still possible.
The new results show Wilson holds a nearly 2,000 vote lead over Mayor Bruce Harrell, too big a margin to overcome. Wilson addressed the media this week.
I believe in good government, and I believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside City Hall to make sure that our city bureaucracy is really delivering for the people of Seattle. I'm really excited about that work.
Mayor Harrell says he'll address the people of Seattle today at noon.
On the U.S. House floor yesterday.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed.
Members voted last night to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Nearly every Democrat voted no, including Washington Representative Pramila Jayapal.
Shame on you. I'm a hell no on this bill.
6 Democrats did cross party lines, among them Washington Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. In a statement, she says now it's time for Congress to get back to work and build an economy where people aren't yanked around by partisan interests.
Well, the government shutdown is over for now, but it might be just the beginning of headaches for air travel. The FAA is ordering airlines to scale back by 6% again today.
And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live from SeaTac Airport with more. Luke, how are the lines looking right now?
Not too bad. I'm outside here at security checkpoint 4, which is one of the main security checkpoints, and the lines aren't too long. Things picking up a little bit here just after 6 a.m. The good news for travelers, I think, especially heading into the Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas right around the corner as well, the FAA has now frozen that 6% in place. Was supposed to be 10% cuts tomorrow, but now it's just going to remain at 6% at 40 major airports across the country, including right here at SeaTac. I think if you're watching on the YouTube feed, you might be looking at video of some of those security lines at checkpoint 4 where I am right now. I also checked FlightAware to check on delays and cancellations. The big board here shows there's a handful of red marks, for canceled flights. According to FlightAware, 11 delays today, 65 cancellations. The vast majority of those flights are Alaska Airlines and SkyWest. It's almost like a split 50-50 down the middle. I also talked with plenty of travelers, and it's a mixed bag on what they were expecting coming to the airport. Some told me they thought it was going to be smooth like it is right now, but then there were others like Connor.
Yeah, I was expecting really long lines, to be honest. When we came, we thought it was going to be chaos getting in, and we actually had to reschedule our flight today. So our first flight got canceled.
Yeah, and they were sitting in the airport for 9 hours yesterday. They told us they were trying to enjoy the city of Seattle, trying to get back to Nebraska, and they couldn't. But they're back here. They're getting their flight today. I also asked travelers, though, about the shutdown. On that issue, everyone seems to want to tiptoe around that question.
It took longer than I had originally thought it would. We'll say that.
A lot of people like Caitlin there tell me just too political of a hot button issue. They don't want to kind of comment on it. The big question, though, now is when will the airlines be back and running at full capacity? Well, a lot of different opinions on that. You heard at the top of the hour that the airlines are hopeful maybe by Thanksgiving. A lot of analysts say maybe by Christmas. In a statement yesterday, Airlines for America, which is an alliance of 9 major airlines and cargo companies, they said there are going to be residual effects for a time moving forward. Expect those. What are residual effects? Well, I don't know. It could be a sliding scale. Does it mean like more peanuts or pretzels, no more on the airlines? Or are we talking layoffs? There's a lot of ground in between, so we're going to have to wait and see on that one. We're live at SeaTac. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. It's 6:08, Thursday, November 13th. A few things have happened since we last met in this studio, Charlie.
Yeah, looks like. I guess we're not making the official call,
no,
but by
others are.
All intents and purposes, the fat lady is singing "Say Goodnight, the party's over."
Or something like that.
I can use all the the metaphors.
We're talking about the election for those.
It looks like Katie Wilson's going to be the next mayor, and it looks like Mayor Harrell is going to have a concession speech at noon, but that has not been officially confirmed.
Nope. We'll have it all for you here on KIRO News Radio. Chris Sullivan is here checking the roads. It's wet this morning.
Yeah, it is, and we've already had a couple of accidents, so yeah, watch yourself this morning.
People were flying on the freeway when I was driving in around 3:15 or so. The rain was just dumping, and people were going by 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yeah, nothing like losing traction at that speed.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have Sully here. Producer David Burbank is in the studio. Katrina Gashard is out at the news desk. Welcome back, Nick Krasha. Hope you're feeling better.
Yep, feeling better now.
Good.
Okay,
We missed you.
And this hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
Sully, what's coming up in your choke point this morning?
Going to take a look at a bridge that is, well, it's old, and it really needs another twin. And so we're doing a construction project in Snohomish that's really going to help out.
Okay, we'll also have Luke Ducey with a Tech Talk, a deep look at the use of AI in police departments across the country, and why Seattle PD is creating some rules around how their officers make use of that technology.
It's now 6:09. The Redmond City Council has formalized its suspension of the city's automated license plate reading system with a 5-0 vote. Here's Councilmember Melissa Stewart.
To the community who was caught off guard by the implementation of the license plate readers, I hear you.
Last week, at the City Council's request, Redmond Police Chief agreed to turn off those so-called flock cameras. At a special council meeting last night, the council said the suspension allows time for more community discussion about privacy concerns and vendor trustworthiness. The council plans to take up the issue again next week.
The owner of a North Seattle tattoo shop is speaking out, hoping the public can help identify a suspect that spent 10 hours trying to break in with a crowbar over the weekend. Ralph says what hurts the most about the attempt is that his shop is also a community space, recently organizing help for neighbors who lost SNAP food benefits.
We're out here trying to be active members of the community and uplift people, bring people together. So it just leaves a big question mark as to why us.
Last year, thieves did break in and stole thousands of dollars worth of tattoo equipment.
A man accused of planning dozens of robberies is now charged with murder. Prosecutors say Michael Miller Jimerson helped organize a deadly pot shop robbery in Tacoma. Court papers say he directed 3 teenagers to hit World of Weed in 2022. During that robbery, a 15-year-old shot and killed the employee Jordan Brown when Brown fought back. 2 teens were sentenced last year to 25 years. Detectives say Miller Jimerson and others plotted at least 45 armed robberies across Pierce and King counties. According to the News Tribune, he's been in federal custody since 2022. Trial is set for May of next year.
Dumpsters are for trash, not puppies. That's a message from Linwood PD after a puppy was found in a dumpster covered in debris Tuesday night. Officers rescued him, named him Oscar. Members of Linwood PD are fostering the puppy now. If you know who abandoned the pup, Linwood Police want to hear from you. We have his picture up at mynorthwest.com.
He is adorable. And get it, Oscar?
Oscar, you know.
It's 6:12. Boy, what a change in the weather. Let's talk about the forecast now. It's sponsored by State Roofing and Exteriors. And we say good morning to KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Good morning. We got the rain and the rain and the rain. We got the wall of rain now, and it will be here pretty much all day. Now, I will say there could be some lighter pockets here in a couple of hours, but overall, you're going to find more rain now and more rain throughout the day, tapering off to showers during the evening commute. But between now and then, as it tapers a little bit and becomes a little spottier, I also believe you'll find some heavier pockets. So you are going to see just a lot of rain, anywhere from, say, like, half an inch of rainfall to about an inch. I think most of us will be around 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, so it's going to be an impressive one with gusty conditions and highs staying in the upper 50s. So yes, it's widespread now. Heaviest is probably around, say, like Yelm, Rainier, Graham, through about Auburn, and then you just have pockets where it's going to stay like that. So you'll find some rain, you'll find it tapering off a little this afternoon, staying gusty, and temps in the 50s. But tomorrow we're still going to see some rain, especially around like the central and south sound, continuing throughout the day, and then scattered showers into the weekend. So today's the wettest day. You see a little less tomorrow, and you still have some scattered showers in the mix for Saturday and showers coming in for Sunday. So I got rain and I got rain and I got rain.
Yeah, just to be clear, it's going to rain, right?
I don't think so, but I do think it will probably rain.
All right, it's wet this morning. Thanks, Nick. It's 53 in Seattle.
And wet roadways make for a busy Sully. He is at the traffic desk.
And we have cleared the crash on eastbound 18 down right before you get to the 167 corridor there in Auburn. But we still are backed up to I-5, and it's getting better from east to west. So just hang in there. Probably about a 10-minute delay getting down to Auburn. This has spilled over onto northbound I-5, and so we're really heavy up the hill from Fife. Give yourself about 25 minutes to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. I've been looking for a crash right at Federal Way at 320th. Haven't found it yet, but we're looking at about 42 minutes to go from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway struggling through Pacific, and then a little bit more at the north end as you get into 405. Getting closer to an hour to make that trip. There are some brake lights on 512 eastbound as well down the South Hill. Olympia to Tacoma is closer to 40 minutes. Some brake lights in Lacey up through DuPont. Renton to Bellevue is about 20 minutes. Coming down from the north end, definitely seeing a lot of braking right around the Marysville exits now on southbound I-5. Give yourself about 25 minutes to go from Arlington to Everett. That's about a 10-minute delay right there. Once you get through that, off and on braking south of the Everett Mall, and you have about a 43-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by the Seattle International Auto Show, where you can see them, touch them, drive them at the Seattle International Auto Show, presented by BECU, Lumen Field Event Center, November 14th through the 16th. Discover your drive, seattleautoshow.com.
It's 6:15. Well, gird your loins. The first look at the sequel to The Devil Wears Prada 2 is out, and KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard is here with more.
All right, so the entire teaser trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2 is only a few seconds long, but already it's a hit.
Miranda? Took you long enough.
Okay, so the trailer basically shows Meryl Streep's fearsome character Miranda stepping into an elevator at the fictional Runway magazine's offices. Then Andy, played by Anne Hathaway, joins her just before the doors close. This film was first filmed about 20 years ago, which is why the "took you long enough" line has fans super excited for the movie, which hits theaters next May.
Thank you, Katrina. It's 6:15.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, it is one of the worst non-freeway choke points in our region.
Northbound Highway 9 getting into Snohomish. If you've ever tried it during the afternoon commute, you know the pain. Sully is here with news of a fix that's coming. Sully.
Work is finally underway to widen SR 9 and build a new Snohomish River Bridge just to the west of the historic downtown Snohomish. Hundreds of thousands of people have moved to that area over the last 20 years, and the highway just cannot handle the congestion. Now, if you're not familiar with the area, here's how it breaks down. Northbound 9 loses a lane at Marsh Road. It goes from 2 lanes down to 1 going towards the Snohomish River. The highway backs up every afternoon and can be unbearable on Fridays. We're talking miles-long backups that just don't relent until 7:30 at night. WashDOT's Della Colstanique Juarez says that should change with this project.
We're going to build a new bridge just west of the current bridge and widen State Route 9 south of that. We're also going to put a bridge over an overflow area, and we're going to repair and paint the old bridge.
That means 2 lanes will continue northbound from Marsh Road, across the river, and up to the Snohomish exit to 2nd Street. That's where traffic will merge back to 1 lane. The existing bridge will handle the northbound direction. The new bridge over the river will handle the southbound direction. Pile driving for the new bridge is expected to start shortly, and Colstanique Juarez says it's going to have an impact on the community.
It's going to be loud. Progress is painful sometimes, and we acknowledge that this is going to be uncomfortable for some people because the pile driving is going to take place for probably several months into early spring.
The widening will start next year. The new bridge should be finished in 2027. The old bridge will then be restored and repainted. The entire project should wrap up in 2028. If you're looking at our YouTube page right now live, you can see I shot some video driving across the bridge. You can see how it's just a one-lane span there in each direction. So that bridge will become northbound only, and then they're going to build a parallel one just to the right of that video if you're watching it. And it's just me driving around. No narration on that one, which I know can be kind of funny, but yeah, that's what they're looking at. It's a pretty tight squeeze there. The project also includes new on and off ramps at 2nd Street. The ramp to southbound 9 is downright scary. Very limited room, very limited visibility.
When I went out there to look at the area, that was my first time taking that on ramp. I don't mind telling you, my hairs went up a little bit on my arms. Yeah, both the ramps are going to be redone. It's going to be a lot safer, a lot easier for people.
There should be limited impact to SR9 during construction because the new bridge is to the west of the existing one. And WashDOT's Marcus Hamburg says they plan to keep the lanes open as much as possible.
The goal is to establish a work zone, and it's just going to shift traffic, the 2 lanes in each direction, a little bit over to establish that work zone. And then most of the widening work will happen kind of behind barriers.
Full schedule of lane and ramp closures still being developed. You'll be able to see all the preliminary work and hear the pile driving as you head out to your favorite Snohomish County Christmas tree farm over the next couple of weeks if you're on SR9. Project price tag, $142 million.
Well, when I think about this, Sully, I think, yes, this is something that's really important. We have grown so much as a region that this was just a really rural area, 25, 30, 40 years ago.
Even really 15. I mean, I lived not too far from this, and we had baseball practices in and around there down by Snohomish itself. We played at Pilchuck Park. If people are familiar, we love to go antiquing. I know you don't know that about me. And so, but over the last 20 years, that part of our state has grown by leaps and bounds as people are trying to find affordable places to commute into Seattle. I mean, we're talking Granite Falls, Snohomish, Lake Stevens, all those spots.
I think of that, and I also think of the south end to the east side.
Same thing. Oh,
It's happening everywhere. And this one project, a $142 million price tag, when you start thinking about all these different projects happening around the state, this is overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it down, along Highway 7 through Spanaway and other places like that, they're redoing and building that whole new sewer system to handle all the people that have moved down there that have caused, closures and road reduction. They're redoing roads there. They've been redoing the road to, south, getting down towards Rainier. Yeah. We went from a fishing and timber town so fast, and people moved here so quickly. This was a cow road. It's right there by this, Stalker Farms and all those little places that were miles and miles away. Now they're vibrant, places that are just extensions of the suburbs. And
King Charlie's still there?
What's that?
King Charlie's, is that still there?
I'm not sure. I
just like saying it.
What is King Charlie's?
There used to be like
restaurant?
a burger place.
It might be. I don't know. We usually we like to hang out at the Oxford Saloon a little bit there in Snohomish. Nice. But yeah, this is a big one because it really does back up a bunch. And you're right. There are a bunch of roads that can use this kind of work. Someone already joked, that's just going to move the choke point a little bit further to the north. But the good news is it gives you more than a mile to merge as opposed to like right there. I mean, it's like a quarter mile where you have a merge lane, and so this will give you some room. Brand new facility there. It needs it.
I got to tell you, I've been distracted ever since you said Christmas tree farm.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it to the pumpkin patch this year.
And that's a popular spot. So you'll see a bunch of work, and a lot of it's underneath the road there, right on the Snohomish Road there, underneath Larimer, and it's north of Lower Larimer. But there's a lot to see, and it's going to be very busy for the next 2.5 years.
Okay. Today might be your final chance this season to cross the state on the North Cascades Highway. Heavy snow mixed with rain is creating concerns for avalanche danger.
Such a pretty drive. For safety reasons, the Department of Transportation plans to shut down a 40-mile stretch between Ross Dam Trailhead and Silver Star Gate at 5 o'clock today. Crews are going to reassess the situation on Monday, and then they'll make the decision to close it or not for the season. If they do close it Monday, it'll mark the earliest seasonal closure, beating the current record by 1 day set just last year.
It's coming up on 623. We have traffic on the threes. Chris Sullivan is keeping an eye on the roads this morning.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Our friend Bill at Lake Stevens, I got a chance to look at the text line. He's like, you're just moving the choke point. Like, man, we got a mile of an extra. I mean, I feel you. I mean, that's generally probably what will happen, but there'll be a lot more time to merge. Plus, people can get off at 2nd Street if that's where they want to go to get into downtown Snohomish. So
Bill's being realistic.
Yeah, I know. I'm being, what's the opposite of realistic?
You're being Sully.
Yeah, hopeful. Yeah. Looking at the drive now, we're still seeing very heavy brake lights on eastbound 18 from I-5 halfway down the hill to 167. That's because of an earlier crash we had there. Still about a 10-minute delay. And then you're looking at about a 45-minute trip, maybe 50 minutes already from Federal Way to Seattle. Pretty heavy up the hill, actually, from Tacoma through Fife. Give yourself about 30 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about a 10 or 12-minute delay. Valley Freeway, we've got about an hour trip for you, really thick through Pacific, starting to see it in Auburn and at the north end, and then Renton to Bellevue, already close to a half an hour today. So we're behind schedule there by about 5 minutes. Looking at heavy brake lights in Marysville. Looks like primarily right there through Tulalip. It's eased off a little bit. There might have been a little crash right at 529. I'm checking into that, but it's about 30 minutes from Arlington into Everett, plus 15. And then about a 45-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, starting to see the brake lights pull away from Linwood in a big way. Across the lake, no issues. Olympia to Tacoma is only 40 minutes. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
We're going to see lots of rain for today. A little bit breezy, too, and a high of 57. Tapering off to showers for tomorrow, and that's what we're going to see right on through the weekend. Scattered showers with highs in the mid-50s. By Tuesday of next week, daytime highs only in the upper 40s. Right now, it's 53 in Seattle.
Getting plenty of texts and even a tweet. King Charlie's closed a couple of years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
I am sorry to hear that, too. Weather forecast is looking wet today. Stormy, windy, highs in the mid-50s. Back to showers tomorrow, and by the weekend, on and off showers throughout. Right now in Seattle, it's raining at 51.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G?
Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Smart buyers know now is the best time to upgrade to a new Subaru. It's officially Subaru season. Subaru of Puyallup has a limited number of remaining 2025 models with exceptional savings, including the popular Crosstrek and Outback. These vehicles are built for the Northwest, and with symmetrical all-wheel drive, they're going fast. So don't miss your chance. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com or stop by today before somebody else drives off in your Subaru. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it is 6:31. Seattle's mayoral race appears to have been decided. It's not official yet, and a recount is still possible.
But Katie Wilson now holds a nearly 2,000 vote lead over Bruce Harrell. She spoke to reporters this week about the support she's received from young voters.
To have young people come up to me and tell me that this was the first vote that they were casting and that they were excited to vote for me, that has just really warmed my heart.
Some outlets have called the race for Wilson. Harrell plans to address the city today at noon.
Well, Congress may have ended the shutdown, but that won't stop airport chaos. The FAA says airlines must cut flights by as much as 6%, tightening schedules and clogging security lines across the country.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live from SeaTac with more. And Luke, the last we saw, it was actually pretty smooth flowing. What's it look like now?
Yeah, well, half an hour later since I talked with you here at SeaTac, the lines have obviously gotten longer as more and more people and more flights are getting online, getting ready to get out of here. But I'll tell you this at Checkpoint 4, it's not like the lines are snaking. It's just a straight line right now. We've all flown, so that's actually good news. If you see that when you're walking up, you're like, oh, okay, maybe not so bad. Let's, though, go to the big board. We are by far here at SeaTac we're experiencing the worst delays and cancellations around the country. And that could be because we're so far out here on the West Coast. There's a domino effect from the East Coast. All those flights kind of have to, if there's a delay here or there or cancellation, it kind of trickles down to where we are. So as of a few minutes ago on FlightAware, there are 15 delays and 65 cancellations here at SeaTac, mostly, vast majority, Alaska Airlines and SkyWest. Makes sense. This is the Alaska hub, of course. I also, let's talk about traveler expectations. They have been a mixed bag on what they expected when they came to the airport. There are a lot of people, like Lisa.
I anticipated about the same amount of lines. We're flying internationally, so we were told our flights weren't being affected.
And there are a lot of people also like Garrett.
I was nervous. I thought my flight was going to get cut, to be honest. Plain simple.
So the FAA cuts, here's some good news, 6% today across the country at 40 different airports, including SeaTac. That's frozen in place now. It was supposed to go to 10% tomorrow. That's not going to happen. So, again, that is some good news. But the big question is, with the government back up and running now, as of last night, the airlines are going to have to need to catch back up in a lot of ways. The airlines hope they can do that in time for the Thanksgiving travel season right around the corner. A lot of analysts, though, they say, more like Christmas. We will see for sure. Live at SeaTac, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
It's 6:33, and we have traffic on the 3s with Chris Sullivan.
Got a couple places that have 15-minute delays, basically on either end of our drive. So if you're coming up from Tacoma to Federal Way, that drive alone is 30 minutes. That's a 15-minute delay there. One of the reasons is we've been working with this crash on eastbound 18 down the hill to the Valley Freeway. It has cleared, but it hasn't cleared all the way up yet to I-5, and so that's created a pretty long lineup of people who are trying to get down to the valley. That's added a lot of weaving and merging up the hill past Wild Waves. So that's why you're slow there. And then you have about a 50-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. I got about a 10-minute delay still down the hill after that earlier crash on 18. And once you get to the Valley Freeway, it's getting close to an hour. Not only the brake lights through Pacific, but more in Auburn, a little bit at the far north end. Renton to Bellevue's manageable. It's under a half an hour. By the time you're up to 30th, it's not too bad. Coming down from the north end, we have a 15-minute delay as well from Arlington down into Everett. Looks like we had an earlier little crash right there at 529 in Marysville. Right now, there's just a really crush of people getting through to Laylup. It frees up after that. Then you've got about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Lake bridges are still fine. Northbound I-5 is actually kind of struggling through Lacey now. Checking into that. We might have a new crash there. 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Country's rising star Chase Matthew hits the Emerald Queen Casino on December 7th. Don't miss your chance to see one of country music's boldest new voices. Only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
We're going to see steady rain throughout the morning, tapering off to showers for the afternoon. 57 the high for today. It's 53 in Seattle now.
At 6:35, time for the opening bell report. After 43 days, the federal government is finally open for business. Last night, President Trump signed a bill to end the shutdown a few hours after it was passed by the House.
House Speaker Mike Johnson hasn't committed to a vote to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies, the Democratic sticking point. House Democrats say they'll keep fighting.
We believe as Democrats that health care has to be a right, and a right that's affordable and available to every single American in the United States.
With the shutdown ended, federal workers could start getting back pay within days, but it could still take some time for full food aid to be restored for 42 million Americans receiving SNAP benefits. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Some overdue economic reports should be getting back on track now that the shutdown's over.
The end of the government shutdown means the resumption of key federal data reports. Austin Goolsbee, president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, says some of the job numbers he's seen look a little worrisome.
Normally, if you think that it's the beginning of recession, when you have low hiring, you tend to have high layoffs. For both the layoffs to be low and the hiring to be low might be because a bunch of firms think there's uncertainty and they're just kind of sitting on their hands until they get some resolution.
Goolsbee also says he's a bit wary about taking big actions like another Fed rate cut given the shutdown inflation data blackout. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Stop at a Starbucks on your way to work for an eye-opener. You may be out of luck today.
Thousands of unionized baristas have been threatening to strike at 550 locations in 25 cities in a demand for better pay, schedules, and benefits. Starbucks calls the requests unreasonable and claims the company offers the best jobs in retail. It does not expect disruptions at the vast majority of its locations. The protest comes on one of the busiest days of the year for the coffee chain. It's Free Red Cup Day for customers who order holiday-themed drinks like peppermint mocha and caramel brulee lattes. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Washington businesses say it's getting tougher than ever to operate in this state. KIRO Newsradio's Jillian Raftery reports.
A new survey of more than 400 employers shows confidence is slipping as taxes climb. The Association of Washington Business reports 65% of respondents now rank taxes as their top concern. 3 out of 4 businesses say they've been hit by new sales and B&O tax hikes, and more than half are passing those costs on to customers. Employers also cite rising healthcare costs, regulations, and tariffs as added pressure. Nearly 4 in 10 expect a recession within a year.
A federal court jury has awarded more than $28 million to the family of a woman who died in the crash of a Boeing 737 MAX jetliner in Ethiopia more than 6 years ago.
The jury reached the verdict Wednesday at the first civil trial stemming from the March 2019 crash that killed all 157 people on board, including Shika Garg, a United Nations consultant. The family's legal team says they are gratified by the verdict. In a statement, Boeing apologized to all the victims' families and said it respects their right to pursue their claims in court. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Amazon got deeper into AI yesterday.
It launched a suite of new tools to help companies automate tasks, buy things, and manage supply chains more efficiently. One feature is Amazon's new Business Assistant. It's supposed to be a conversational AI tool that looks at companies' purchase history, data, and has conversations with people. And then it's supposed to help make tasks more efficient and help those businesses grow while saving money on purchases. Amazon also introduced savings insights and spend anomaly monitoring for Business Prime members.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
Well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a record high yesterday. Right now, stocks are in the negative, however. Dow Jones is down 110 points. The S&P 500 is off by 41, and the NASDAQ is seeing a 1% drop. It's down 242 points right now.
A word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up?
Well, we're going to take a look at the 15-minute delays on either side of our commute. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
There's 2 types of people.
The G and Ursula Show.
The ones that use a washcloth or a Lupa sponge.
Okay. Weekdays 9 to noon.
The other are bare hand bandits. They just grab the soap. Growing up, my delegation, we always use washcloths.
Hate to break it to you, but I think my hand's going to be much better than this brush.
Yeah, what? I am uncomfortable.
Really?
Rubbing all over myself without there being a buffer.
Watch live on YouTube and the KIRO Newsradio app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other.
so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Fall is here and school is back in full swing. Can your bank keep up with your schedule? WaFd Bank can with free checking. Live your life and stick to your agenda without worrying about minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees. WaFd has thousands of fee-free ATMs and more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states. Plus, WaFd Bank offers useful tools like voice-activated banking so you can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
6:43 now. We check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And we're working with some 15-minute delays in a couple of different spots this morning. I'll start with northbound I-5, which is really struggling through the Tacoma core. We might have we've been working with a crash in the southbound direction of I-5 right there by the Dome. Now we're starting to see some people slowing down for that in the northbound direction, and then you're crawling up the Fife Hill to Highway 18. We had an earlier crash down the hill on 18, which really put us behind. We're over 30 minutes from the Tacoma area to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle is running right around 55 minutes. Valley Freeway also really struggling through the Pacific Lane restriction. We've got about an hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. That's also about 15 minutes slower than it should be. Looking for a reason for why we're so slow on eastbound 512 through the South Hill all the way down toward Meridian. A lot of volume in that general area. For those of you who take Highway 7 out of Spanaway, we've got a pretty nasty crash right at 512 that's causing you, I think, to kind of detour around it a little bit. They look to be in the process of cleaning it up, but a lot of slowing in that general direction at this point. Renton to Bellevue, about a half an hour. Coming down from the north end, really struggling through Marysville. 30 minutes, Arlington to Everett. That's our other plus 15. And then getting closer to 55 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Lake bridges are still doing okay. And we might have another new crash on eastbound 18 getting close to the Tiger Mountain Summit. So, yeah, the rain's doing a number on us right now. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. The warehouse clearance sale ends soon. Save 25 to 75%. Enjoy 18-month 0% financing. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Well, that rain's going to stick around for the bulk of the morning, tapering off to showers by afternoon. Our high 57 for today. And then tomorrow, Friday, right on through the weekend, look for scattered showers and highs in the mid-50s. Right now, it's 53 in Seattle.
6:45 now. Drivers on I-40 in Albuquerque got quite the surprise. Here's Katrina with the story.
Police officers chased a suspect on the run with 4 legs and a snout down the freeway. Albuquerque police shared video of the wild chase. The 1-year-old pig shut down traffic, darting past cars, dodging officers until animal control finally corralled him. Open up the back of the unit. The pig has been nicknamed Parrot and is now safe at a shelter waiting to be claimed or adopted if no owner steps forward by Monday.
Oh,
Parrot the pig?
Gonna go wee all the way home.
Okay.
I'll adopt it and give it a good home. In my belly.
Oh, my goodness.
Chris Sullivan. Here we have this nice uplifting story about a precocious pig.
Just try to give people a laugh today. It's rough on the roads, but I am hungry.
Thank you, Katrina.
It's a showdown you won't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team, the Seahawks season in full swing, and we want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text APP to 888-973-5476, and we will send you a link to download. You can enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
It's now 6:47, and coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with this week's Tech Talk. It's a look at how the Seattle Police Department is planning to regulate the use of AI.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
It's Sky Nursery's first annual Greenhouse Winter Market, followed by the inaugural Shore Lights Winter Light Display, November 15th and 16th. All vendor fees support HopeLink, collecting food donations for neighbors in need. Event details at skynursery.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
6:49 now in today's Tech Talk, Part 2, in our look at how Seattle police are now weighing new rules for artificial intelligence after a recent internal discovery set off alarms with watchdog groups.
However, more and more police departments around the country are using AI to help catch bad guys, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey spoke with one of them.
Last August, Seattle's Office of Police Accountability received a complaint that a sworn officer used ChatGPT and Grammarly to help draft internal emails and blue team reports. Reports used to document things like citizen complaints, pursuits, and any use of force during an arrest. And the use of AI in preparing those reports is now raising red flags among police watchdog groups. However, police departments from New York City to Detroit to San Francisco use AI every day. Anchorage, Alaska Police Captain Amanda Fisher tells me they launched a pilot program to write police reports, but found
there were a couple of times where the accuracy was not complete, and they had to make changes to bring it up to the actual statement of fact.
It's the very thing that raises serious flags for those watchdog groups like the Electronic Privacy Information Center and Callie Schroeder, because
you can't necessarily count on it to be fully accurate in what it's doing. And with something like a police report, you really need it to be fully accurate.
Anchorage officers ended up not using AI for their reports.
They preferred writing them by themselves versus using the AI product that we were trying out.
They do use an AI platform called Closure to sift through massive data files,
searching for the needle in the haystack
for key pieces of evidence. long suspect interviews, jailhouse phone recordings.
Within the first day of using the program for one of our investigators, that was what he did. He loaded some jail calls into the system and asked the question of, tell me about when he made admissions of guilt. And that would have taken that detective hours to find by listening to it and had that information within minutes.
The use of AI to investigate suspects and even help write criminal referrals meant to persuade prosecutors to file charges is stirring debate. Fisher tells me their team takes the ethical and even possibly moral responsibility of that technology seriously. King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office spokesperson Casey McNerthney says they won't accept any criminal referral created with AI, at least for now.
We don't want King County to be the guinea pig for the rest of the nation.
And State Attorney General Nick Brown agrees there should be guardrails on AI in law enforcement, but admits putting them in place will be easier said than done.
Because the law is undefined and the tech changes so quickly.
And, like a lot of others, he believes, on one hand, AI could create new challenges for law enforcement. However, on the other,
we can use those tools to streamline the work that they're doing so they can be more efficient and save taxpayers money. I think that's an exciting possibility.
The right answer, if there is one, might be somewhere between watchdog groups and Schroeder.
Really important to have police officers put down their thoughts and their memories immediately after an event happens.
And departments like Anchorage already using AI.
We're not implementing robots and removing the investigators. We're just adding tools to the toolbox that they utilize in these investigations.
Now, Seattle police can use the city's AI policy as a guide. They're currently developing an AI policy of their own.
And two of Hollywood's top stars are going into business with a company to clone their unique voices for AI.
Oscar-winning actors Michael Caine and Matthew McConaughey have partnered with voice cloning company 11 Labs. Caine's famous, of course, for his Cockney accent.
I have a rhythm to my voice, which is what makes it sound like me. That's what it is.
Then there's McConaughey.
All right, all right, all right.
And his languid twang.
Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be.
Caine says the technology celebrates humanity by amplifying voices, not replacing them. McConaughey plans to use the AI to voice his newsletter in Spanish. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
You know, if I had formed that band in high school, one of the names would have been Languid Twang.
Languid Twang. I've never heard that until right now.
So conversational. Rolls off the tongue.
It's 6:54. Let's talk traffic. Now, we do that every 10 minutes. Here's Sully.
And our drive in Pierce County is pretty much destroyed at this point. We have a new crash on northbound I-5 right at Highway 18. HOB lane and left general purpose lane are blocked. We have a 6-mile backup that extends from the Puyallup River all the way up to Highway 18. It is a 45-minute trip from Tacoma to Federal Way. That is a 25-minute delay. So major delay getting out of Tacoma. We've got a 20-minute delay getting into Tacoma coming down from Highway 18 because of a crash blocking 2 right lanes by the Tacoma Dome. So that's pretty ugly. We also have the crash on northbound 7 right at Parkland there at 512. Eastbound 512 down the hill is really heavy, and then an hour and 15 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's 35 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle's an hour. Also an hour from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. And coming down through Marysville, still about a 15-minute delay for you guys. The only spot that's behaving, the Lake Bridges. They're still fine. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts at early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
We're expecting rain throughout the day and windy, highs in the mid-50s. Tapers off a bit tomorrow, on and off showers. Again, highs in the 50s. 44 right now in Seattle.
Well, it appears Katie Wilson will be the next mayor of Seattle. We're going to chat with Democratic strategist Kathy Allen coming up at 7:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
John Curley here. Attention landlords. Let's say you've owned a rental for 20 years. Tenants are calling at 1 a.m. It's another problem you would love to sell, but those taxes keep you stuck. Many properties today are producing less cash flow than a high-yield savings account. Some landlords are working harder than ever for 1 to 3% return. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting a free landlord retirement plan workshop November 18th in Kirkland, November 19th in Tacoma, and November 20th back in Kirkland, all at 3 p.m. Madrona does things differently. They're wealth advisors and CPAs, so they understand both investments and taxes. You'll learn strategies like how to sell without triggering massive capital gains, or how to avoid depreciation recapture surprises, and why DSTs are becoming so popular with retired landlords. Only 10 seats per workshop. Call 833-673-7373 to reserve yours. That's 833-673-7373.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with a sad discovery in West Virginia. Crews have just recovered the body of a coal miner.
Foreman Steve Lipscomb went missing Saturday in the Rolling Thunder mine after his crew struck an unknown pocket of water which flooded the mine. All week, crews had pumped out millions of gallons of water. This morning, the water levels were low enough for rescuers to go in. They had hoped to find Lipscomb alive in an air pocket. State Senator Jack Woodrum.
Many of these men, they haven't slept in days. So, keep all these people in your prayers.
West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrissey says the state will grieve together and stand together. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Hundreds of people have been evacuated, dozens hospitalized after a tanker truck spewed ammonia gas into a hotel parking lot in Waterford, Oklahoma.
We couldn't breathe. Like I thought I'm dying. I thought I'm going to quit.
running and just collapsed on the floor.
Nursing home residents and school students among the people evacuated. Federal workers will be getting back pay soon. SNAP recipients could get their food benefits restored today after President Trump signed legislation ending the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
It's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again.
Not included in the agreement, a resolution on health care subsidies. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
In this country, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, it can't be the case that health care is simply a privilege for the wealthy. We believe as Democrats that health care has to be a right, and a right that's affordable and available to every single American in the United States.
Airline flights still being canceled and delayed, but Delta CEO Ed Bastian tells CBS Mornings he sees clear skies in his forecast.
As soon as the Senate deal on Monday got approved, staffing levels almost overnight improved dramatically. So last couple days, the only cancellations that Delta had were the government mandated cancellations for us, which is mostly on our smaller planes. And I expect by the weekend, we're pretty much going to be full steam ahead.
Whooping cough cases are spiking. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
We're seeing cases increasing across the country, and there are really three main factors that are driving this. One, we've seen an increase in non-medical exemptions to vaccination. Texas, in fact, starting this school year, has made it much easier to claim those non-medical exemptions.
Welcome to the first season of AI holiday shopping. Google has just unveiled new tools and features in its Gemini app. One can call stores to find out if they have what you want in stock. Another includes talking AI agents. The Dow is down 119 points in early trading. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's 7:03, and Chris Sullivan is watching traffic for us.
It's a shame I don't remember the name of Apollo Creed's manager, because I'm throwing the white towel right now against Ivan Drago. This drive is it's nasty. It's really bad, and people are hitting each other all over the place. I'm going to start with northbound I-5 getting up to Highway 18 out of Tacoma. We've been working with a crash blocking 2 lanes. It has cleared, but we're backed up all the way to the Puyallup River and running 25 minutes behind schedule, 45 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running about an hour and 10 now behind schedule because of a crash blocking the right lane by the West Seattle Bridge. Looking at Highway 18 now, both directions appear blocked just before the just on the west side of the Tiger Mountain summit. So that's impacting both directions. Not exactly sure what we're dealing with there as of yet. Puyallup to Renton, we've got about an hour drive. Renton to Bellevue's at 35. Coming down from the north end, a 15-minute delay getting through Arlington and Marysville down to Everett, 35 minutes there. And then hour and 10-minute trips already from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Good night. This report brought to you by KIRO Radio's Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown, where you can get the latest news and updates from your favorite shows right to your inbox.
Would you like a hint?
Yes, please.
On Apollo Creed's manager.
Yeah, maybe that seafood place down the street. Duke.
Oh, Duke.
Yep.
Duke Evers.
Okay, all right. Throw the damn towel.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
7:05 now. Katie Wilson appears on her way to the Seattle mayor's office.
Her lead has grown to nearly 2,000 votes over Mayor Bruce Harrell, and we get more from KIRO 7 TV's Monique Ming-Lovin.
Mayor Bruce Harrell now says he is planning on addressing the city at noon. This comes as the latest totals have Katie Wilson in the lead by 1,976 votes. This is not final. There are still ballots and signatures being challenged.
Some other news outlets have called the race for Wilson. She's 43 years old, a community activist and self-identified Democratic socialist. A recount is still possible.
Government shutdown is over for now, but it might just be the beginning of headaches for air travel as the FAA is ordering airlines to scale back by 6% today.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live from SeaTac Airport. How's it looking, Luke?
It's looking pretty good right now. Here's the scale that I work off of, and then I'll give you kind of the visual scale as well. So when I walk to an airport, probably like you, especially early in the morning, I'm grumpy. I haven't had coffee yet, and I know the TSA line is going to be long, and and you get around the corner and you take a look, and then you have a reaction. Well, my reaction this morning is, yeah, okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all. The lines are not snaking. They are straight here at Checkpoint 4 and the other checkpoints. That's despite, a huge hit with that 6% ordered by the FAA of flights canceled at 40 major airports, including SeaTac. We're seeing 80 delays and cancellations, so 15 delays and 65 cancellations here. Vast majority of those flights, Alaska and SkyWest, which makes sense. This is an Alaska hub. And as for air travelers, I'm not flying today. They are a mixed bag. Some tell me they were expecting chaos, like I would. And then I talked with George this morning.
Not really. That's what I was expecting, just in general. The rule of thumb is to show up a little early, so it's just been easy to just show up and get through it.
So the big question now is, when are the airlines going to get back up and running at full capacity? Well, a lot of analysts predict by the Christmas holiday. But in a statement yesterday, Airlines for America, an alliance of 9 major airlines and cargo companies, said they hope by Thanksgiving, but they also warned there will be residual effects for a time moving forward. No word on what those residual effects will be. We'll certainly find out. But smooth sailing so far at SeaTac today, and that's where we're live this morning. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Thousands of children in Washington will soon have access to free preschool.
Balmer Group is making a 10-year commitment to pay for up to 10,000 new seats in Washington's Early Childhood Education and Assistance Program, known as ECAP. The group will be putting up about $170 million a year. Governor Bob Ferguson.
As we're standing here today, it'd be hard to quantify how significant that investment will be for our state.
The grant kicks in 2026. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Wait a second, Sully, what is going on the freeway right now in the rain that has come again?
Look at that big old frowny face on you.
The Department of Transportation has just decided to do pothole repair.
There's got to be good reason.
I know. It better be emergent. I mean, yeah. I drove this morning. Yeah. This is southbound I-5 in the middle of a rainy commute out between 175th and Shoreline to 130th. The HOV lane and left general purpose lane are blocked right now just north of 145th. They say they'll be quick, but expect delays. So right now, 2 lanes are blocked as we go southbound right there. That's already
right such a brutal stretch because of that 145th exit.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, guys, I'm out.
7:09. After 43 days, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history is over.
KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker reports nearly all of our local elected lawmakers voted along party lines.
We're talking about Representatives Randall, Jayapal, Schreier, Schmidt, Strickland. All Democrats all voted against the bill. Same for Democrats Del Bene and Larson. However, one Washington Democrat, Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, broke ranks with her party, voting to approve the bill along with Republican Representatives Newhouse and Baumgartner.
Redmond's controversial license plate cameras will remain off following last night's unanimous city council vote. The 5-0 decision makes official what happened last week when council members asked the mayor and police chief to deactivate the flock system immediately. This is Council President Vanessa Kritzer.
The council was interested in being able to take action to suspend use of this system so that we would allow for more discussion. We've scheduled at our Committee of the Whole meeting next week on public safety.
That meeting is set for next Tuesday.
A Tacoma pot shop robbery that turned deadly is back in the headlines. Prosecutors have charged Michael Miller Jimerson with second-degree murder. They say he gave orders to teenagers who robbed World of Weed in 2022. One teen shot and killed Jordan Brown after Brown refused to hand over cash. 2 teenagers are already serving 25-year sentences for that killing and other robberies. Investigators have linked Miller Jimerson to a ring behind 45 armed robberies in King and Pierce counties. According to the News Tribune, his federal trial on conspiracy charges is set for May of next year.
Linwood could soon have its own farmers market. The city council voted Monday to start the process at the light rail station. The city would use the space for free, but list Sound Transit as a sponsor. Council members say the only cost is a $5,000 security deposit, which is refundable. That money will come from the council's travel budget, which members gave up to help with the deficit. According to the Everett Herald, they hope to launch the market by April of next year.
Staying in Linwood, a well-known Canadian supermarket chain is expanding. T&T, famous for its wide selection of Asian foods, opens in its new location this morning at 9. It's at Linwood Crossroads on Highway 99. This marks T&T's second U.S. store following its Bellevue debut last December.
Today might be your last chance this year to cross the state on the scenic North Cascades Highway. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors reports on a temporary shutdown for now.
With heavy snow canvassing the Cascade Peaks mixed with rain at times, State Route 20, the North Cascades Highway, could face avalanche threats. For safety reasons, WashDOT plans to close the highway at 5 p.m. Thursday between Ross Dam Trailhead and Silver Star Gate. That's mileposts 134 through 171. Crews will reassess conditions on Monday. If it is deemed unsafe to reopen, WashDOT will close it down for the season. It'll mark the earliest seasonal closure by 1 day. The standing record is November 18th of last year. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
It's now 7:12. Well, the commute is becoming a mess. We'll talk about that in a moment. Right now, it's a mess because of the weather. So the forecast is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. And Nick Allard of KIRO 7 TV is with us.
Yeah, good morning. A lot of rain out there, but some of the heaviest rain now, thankfully at least, is moving off to the east-northeast. So it's not going to be as heavy for at least a little while. And that fits pretty well with the plan of seeing that consistently heavy stuff for a bit and then seeing things ease up a little and then pick up again. So you're going to find rain for most of the day. It's just you're in a slight lull now after getting all that heavy stuff in the South Sound. Now it's just going to be on the light to moderate side, picking up in intensity as we head to about late morning, midday. The rain won't taper fully until we get to about, say, mid to late afternoon. It is going to taper then, but it will still be wet between now and then. Highs are going to go from the 50s now into the mid and upper 50s, and it will be a little gusty. It's not looking horribly windy or anything, or even really horribly breezy, but just wet. So yeah, the heaviest rain now moving out of the area. It does get heavier again by about midday, and it will be tapering towards the afternoon and evening commute. Still see some rain tomorrow, and then scattered showers for Saturday and keeping showers going for Sunday. So we're only looking at, like little periods of drier weather, but all in all, still quite a bit of rain. And yeah, it was pouring in the South Sound earlier.
All right, Nick, thank you. Right now it's 53 in Seattle.
It is 7:13. Let's go to Chris Sullivan for traffic on the 3s.
And after I ran out of the studio, like Home Alone. Whatever it was, however that big pothole was, they laid some asphalt and moved.
All done?
Yeah, they just laid it down and ran out. Stephen from Lake Stevens, I think, just told me, he's like, it wasn't much more than just throwing some asphalt down there and just running over. He goes, I just drove by it, but they're out of the lanes.
All right.
So that's positive, but the backup is from about 145th now all the way back through Linwood. Bumper to bumper. That's a sizable backup. So it's about an hour and 20-minute trip from Everett into Seattle. You match that with the normal stuff going down through Bellevue, coming down to the Canyon Park area. It's running at about an hour and 20 minutes as well. Still running 15 minutes behind schedule on southbound I-5 as you work your way through Marysville. Running at about 35 minutes there. We might have another crash right there near 529. We just cannot stop playing pinball today. Looking at northbound I-5 from the beginning of about the Puyallup River through Fife up to 18. The remnants of a crash now over on the right shoulder. We're getting close to, well, it is 45 minutes still from Tacoma to Federal Way. That is a 25-minute delay. We also have a 20-minute delay getting through Tacoma in the southbound direction because of a crash by the Dome that's blocking 2 right lanes. Okay, Puyallup to Renton, bumper to bumper from Sumner through the Pacific area. Probably one of our worst commutes up the Valley Freeway with that Pacific lane closure. Hour and 20-minute trip to get you up into Renton. Renton to Bellevue's at 40. Lake bridges are fine. Right lane still remains blocked at the West Seattle Bridge on northbound I-5. Hour and 15-minute trip for you, and looks like we're working with both lanes or both directions of Highway 18 still being closed as you get up towards the west slope of Tiger Mountain. It's ugly. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors offering 0% interest, 60 months, 15% off new windows and doors. LakeWashingtonWindow.com.
It's 7:15. All right, whipping up the menu. What is America's favorite Thanksgiving pie? KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard is here with the answer.
Okay, pumpkin pie appears to be a must-have on the Thanksgiving table. This is according to Instacart data. It's the most popular pie by far, with orders surging more than 2,000% the day before the holiday. While they found pumpkin is the favorite in the West, there's more variation on preferences in other parts of the country.
I started singing bye, bye, Miss American Pie.
In Georgia, North Carolina, and Maryland, sweet potato pie is a favorite. It's pecan or pecan. We can have this debate later. In Texas and Mississippi, while French silk pie tops across the Midwest.
What in the world is French silk pie?
I looked this up because I never heard it, but it's
Deliciousness.
dark chocolate sugar
I
mixture.
heard thinking of it.
I mean,
good.
anything with dark chocolate, I'm in.
No apple pie?
Surprisingly not.
Huh.
I
Interesting.
feel like that's a year-long pie, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not just
the
for
daily
Thanksgiving.
pie, not the specialty pie.
My daily apple pie.
The huge. Got it.
Thanks, Katrina. 7:16 now.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, the Seattle mayoral race has been very tight. It's a wild ride, but it appears the Democratic socialist Katie Wilson is going to take over that position.
Let's talk to Democratic strategist Kathy Allen to break down how we got here. Okay, Kathy, what's the word with your sources? Is Mayor Harrell going to concede at noon today?
Seems like to me that's what he's going to do. You know, he is not one of these guys to ride things out in terms of just wait and see. He said he was going to wait for all the votes to be counted, which will be today. But after yesterday's vote count and putting it past the recount number, the fact is that I suspect he does say he's out of it as of noon today.
Kathy, when we talked to you after the election on Wednesday of last week, you seemed confident that he was going to come back. What did you make of what happened when these ballots came in?
What happened is that we had what people have been talking about for a long time, which is an uptick dramatic in terms of young voters. This wasn't a race necessarily between Bruce and, I would say, Katie. This was actually a turnout issue, which had said we had that large number of older voters over the age of 35 that ended up voting in the first, say, 10 days at the most when the ballots were delivered. But near the end here, we've had like this huge, in fact, I just drove around just to take a look at ballot boxes on election day, and there are just strings of young people in line that were there. So I have to say it's pretty safe to say we had an uptick in young voters that cast let's put it this way. Katie Wilson seemed more like the kind of person these young people have been talking about in regards to the politics of change. So I think that's what happened. It's those young voters got out of bed, voted in time, and lo and behold, this is what we have.
So what do we have, Kathy? What do the next 4 years look like? I don't think we've ever had a mayor, at least, with the designation of Democratic Socialist.
No, we haven't. And as a matter of fact, I'm not so sure that she's going to rely on that. I think what she'll do is use that to rally what is the young vote that will become part of her legacy, that I think that we will see more young people in her actual administration. I think we'll see more policy talk to those under the age of 35. And I think it's about time. I think it's the kind of change that when you say you want, you never think it's going to happen. And so when you see young voters showing up in these numbers like they did, well, I think that the people who are in office are going to have to take track of that.
Let's talk about Katie Wilson. Major criticism of her has been she has very little experience. Is that kind of what helped her?
I think more than anything, what it was her age, frankly, even her look. That obviously we know what's coming with Bruce Harrell. We've had him for over a dozen years, and we know his politics. And it's pretty middle of the road. And when it comes right down to it, even progressive, he used to be the progressive one than when we first voted him in. In terms of this, she, by contrast, talks more about homelessness. She talks more about what kind of affordability is in front of us. And those are things that resonate with young people far more than older people. And so from that, I think that that's what we see here is a kind of a direction nod towards this next generation of leadership that is emerging here.
Clearly, in the city of Seattle, Democrats run the show. Take us behind the scenes. Is there a divide between the Harrell types and the Wilson types? And if so, how does that look?
It doesn't look to me like it's going to be much of a divide, only because those city council members that are coming in, I mean, we have two really pretty progressive city council members to join them that obviously when you end up replacing people, like Sarah Nelson, the head of our city council. The fact is that you have both, in this case, Erica Evans as well as Dion Foster that are going to be there to help, along with actually Alexis. And so all these, we have young women coming in, going to be joining a young woman mayor. And the fact that it was only 0.7% of 1% that was a win, they're not going to go stray too far off the mat here because there's an awful lot of folks that are going to be watching them. So where newness is important, there's also the challenge that, what's likely to happen in the next 4 years is not very much. I mean, building coalitions and getting the on-the-job training is not something that most of us political consultants advise. We say you start with school board and move up. In this case, what happens is that we have people who are taking charge, and in most cases, they're taking charge like 30 days before the end of the year. This is going to be kind of an interesting transition time.
Our Luke Ducey was covering this yesterday, and something that raised his eyebrows was the fact Wilson told reporters that Seattleites should not expect she can achieve everything she promised. Is that a strange message right out of the chute?
Yeah, you mean something truthful? Oh, that's interesting. I can only tell you that indeed that is the case. And I think that I found that very mature to say something like that. It shows a little bit more honesty and a little less political spin. And even though we love that political spin, what happens in so many of these cases is that, they're realistic. That is one thing you can look at with younger voters. They're not so likely just to say what they want to hear. What they're likely to do is tell truth. And I know this, having been a university professor, that sometimes the honesty is painful, but it is, in this case, I think, refreshing.
Kathy, I'm not even talking about conservatives, but moderates. What is their takeaway here? What do you see for them, and how do you think they should be feeling right now?
I can only tell you I was with some yesterday, and it was very funny because all of a sudden I could see my very middle of the road folks. All of them had been, mostly all of them had been Bruce Harrell voters. And what happened is that they're saying, well, actually, I am a pretty socialist-leaning Democrat. I'm like, what? Since when? And what happened is that in many of these cases already I hear older voters who are Democrats say, well, there's a lot of this stuff that's really pretty good when it comes to the kinds of change we probably need to be able to tackle problems we have not begun to solve yet, like homelessness, like affordability, even in terms of the more moves towards public transit. So all of this looked to me like, well, could be an opportunity for change, which, by the way, we don't usually say the day after an election. We say the people may have changed, but the system is very much entrenched. And that entrenchment is not something you just change by a person who's elected. You'd have to change an entire system. All those people who work at City Hall, they're not necessarily leaving. And so from all this, the important part for me is let's wait and see. I'm anxious to see what could happen.
Kathy Allen, Democratic strategist of Seattle. Thank you, Kathy.
You're very welcome, folks.
All right. Take care. We appreciate your time. Right now, we need to get to traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. It's a bit messy, Sully.
Yeah, you're 15 minutes behind schedule before you even walk out the door just about everywhere. Some places it's worse. Like if you're going up northbound I-5 from Tacoma, trying to get up to Federal Way, you're running 25 to 30 minutes behind schedule. It's 35 to 40 minutes to get you up to Federal Way. Earlier crash near Highway 18. Then the Federal Way drive isn't terrible, but boy, once you get up to the north beginnings of Boeing Field, you're going to have a slog all the way up. Right lane remains blocked at the West Seattle Bridge. It's an hour and 15-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway, about an hour and 15 as well. Rented to Bellevue at 40. Coming down from the north end, we're at a solid hour and 20-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Most of that is away from Linwood. Further to the north, we have brake lights through Marysville, about a 15-minute delay there, and we continue to work with the closure of both directions of Highway 18 on the western slope of Tiger Mountain. I'm trying to get more information from State Patrol. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Don't miss country's rising star Chase Matthews, December 7th at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Millions of Americans use credit cards to purchase goods every day. The Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates put the secure transactions you rely on at risk, leaving you vulnerable to hackers and foreign cybercriminals that want your data. Hackers win, you lose. Guard your card before it's too late. Tell Congress your data security is not for sale and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
November 13th through 16th, Dimitro's Jazz Alley invites you to groove with the genre-defying sounds of Lettuce. This powerhouse band blends jazz, funk, soul, and hip-hop. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:31. Well, it's not official yet, but Katie Wilson appears to be headed to Seattle City Hall.
She's now holding a nearly 2,000 vote lead over Bruce Harrell. This week, Wilson said she's confident she's going to win.
I'm a community organizer. I'm not going to stop being a community organizer in office. And that means that I really want to engage people, especially young people, especially people that maybe feel that their voice has not been heard in City Hall.
Harrell says he has an announcement. He'll speak to the people of Seattle today at noon. A recount is still possible, though there are some media outlets that have called the race for Wilson.
If you were headed to a Starbucks this morning, you might see workers striking outside. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is outside a Starbucks in Seattle's Queen Anne neighborhood.
92% of Starbucks unionized workers voted for this strike more than a week ago. Now, they're rallying for better pay, also staffing issues and labor violations. Starbucks Workers United, the union for Starbucks workers, represents more than 9,500 baristas across 550 cafes. They could walk off the job this morning and some locations this afternoon. The union says the open-ended strike will start with more than 65 stores in over 40 cities across the country.
The company says only a handful of locations will be affected and adds Starbucks is committed to bargaining in good faith.
Let's get a quick check-in at the airport. Congress may have ended the shutdown temporarily, but that won't stop airport chaos across the country today. The FAA says airlines must cut flights by as much as 6%. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live at SeaTac. How's it looking right now, Luke?
You know, it's looking really good here at the TSA lines at the checkpoint number 4 and other checkpoints at check 3 and 2 earlier as well. Straight shot lines, no snaking at all. You got a better shot at that early in the morning, though, because the later it goes, the more there is a domino effect. And we're kind of seeing that with delays and cancellations yesterday here at SeaTac and maybe a little bit already today, this morning. You can see, by the way, the video of these lines. I sent some earlier, so if you're watching on our YouTube feed, you can see those for yourself right now. 15 delays today and 65 cancellations at SeaTac. On the East Coast, if you compare airports here to there, they're fine on the East Coast and other parts. It's here that we're seeing the worst of it, and especially for Alaska and SkyWest. Makes sense because Alaska, this is their big hub. As far as traveler expectations, though, mixed bag. I have met and talked with people like Lisa.
I anticipated about the same amount of lines. We're flying internationally, so we were told our flights weren't being affected.
Yeah, mostly regional flights are being affected. I also talked with people, though, like Connor.
What did he say, Luke?
Okay.
We don't have
I will
Connor.
Paraphrase. Get the mute button going. I'm going to paraphrase what Connor said. No, I'm just kidding. He had some choice words, probably because his group is trying to travel back to Nebraska, and yesterday they were stuck here for 9 hours, delay after delay after delay. But again, today the lines are looking really good. That FAA cut, let's talk about that. At 6% today of all flights at 40 major airports. It's supposed to go to 10% tomorrow. That's not going to happen. The FAA froze it now at 6% to let the airlines catch back up. Airlines are hopeful. They think this is all going to be back up and running in time for Thanksgiving, which is right around the corner. A lot of analysts say, though, more like Christmas. So stay tuned. Not bad here so far. Back to you.
Thanks, Luke. Time to check traffic with Sully.
Yeah, some people on the roads feel like they've been stuck for 9 hours. Boy, it is ugly. We're running 25 minutes behind schedule everywhere, and we keep adding crashes. I'm going to start with the southbound I-5 drive because we had that emergency pothole repair work, and now we've got a crash right in the U District, southbound 5, right at 45th. Left lane is blocked. We have an hour-and-a-half trip from Everett to Seattle, hour-and-a-half as well from Everett to Bellevue. So it is very, very slow coming down out of Snohomish County. There's also heavy braking through Marysville and about a 15-minute delay there. 5-mile backup northbound I-5 through Fife up to Highway 18 after an earlier crash there. Still 35 minutes to Federal Way. That's plus 15. Also losing about 15 minutes going southbound because of a crash near the Dome as well. Valley Freeway, about an hour and 15-minute trip. Renton to Bellevue's at 45. We have 50 minutes alone just from South Center. Right lane remains blocked at the West Seattle Bridge. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, lots of rain for the morning hours. Should taper off to showers in the afternoon. 57 our high today. And then tomorrow, Friday. Right on through the weekend, look for scattered showers with highs in the mid-50s. It's 53 in Seattle right now.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Time for this morning's commentary. KIRO Newsradio hasn't made the official call, but by all appearances, Mayor Bruce Harrell is set to give a concession speech in 4.5 hours. And by this time tomorrow, we will be calling her Mayor-elect Katie Wilson. Let's reflect on the state of play. The last time Seattle re-elected a mayor was 2005. YouTube had just launched, and the iPhone was still 2 years away. Since then, we've had a parade of one-term mayors, each with their own fatal flaw that made voters say, next. And this morning, Katie Wilson appears to be the next mayor. Even though I don't live in the city anymore, I do work here. Seattle is home. It's a city I love, and I genuinely want it to thrive. So let me be clear. I wish Katie Wilson nothing but success, because when mayors fail, cities suffer, and Seattle has suffered enough from good intentions that couldn't translate into good governance. Wilson has made some remarkable promises. Government-owned grocery stores to combat food deserts, rent control across the city, universal summer childcare, social housing developments, a capital gains tax on top of the Jumpstart payroll tax, all paid for by what she calls rebalancing our tax system, which means significantly higher taxes on businesses and anyone she defines as wealthy. These are ambitious goals. History suggests they're particularly challenging. East Berlin had government grocery stores, and they had some supply issues. Stockholm tried rent control and ended up with 20-year waiting lists for apartments. But perhaps Seattle will be different. Perhaps we've discovered something that eluded all those other cities. Wilson supporters believe she's cracked the code. They see a working mom who understands struggle, an organizer who can build coalitions. They are excited, they're hopeful, they believe. Wilson will soon be running a city with 12,000 employees, a $7.5 billion budget, and problems that would challenge someone who's been governing for decades. Her experience running the Transit Writers Union, a nonprofit with a handful of volunteers and some tax filing challenges, has prepared her for something. Oh, and Seattle's budget is $250 million in the red. It could hit $450 million by next year. We've already raided Jumpstart funds, cut jobs, spent the federal COVID money, still broke. The state's facing its own multi-billion-dollar crisis. And into this financial disaster walks Katie Wilson with plans for government grocery stores and universal child care. It's like showing up to a house fire with plans to install a hot tub. The enthusiasm is touching. The timing is optimistic. Interestingly, just this week, Wilson started talking about obstacles and managing expectations. She mentioned change takes time. Not everything can happen at once. It's probably wise. Managing a major city through crises of homelessness, public safety, affordability, and insolvency is different from organizing protests against the people balancing the books. But every expert was once a beginner. Of course, neurosurgeons usually practice on cadavers first, not living patients. But Seattle is resilient. So here's to Katie Wilson, about to discover the difference between reading the owner's manual and driving the car in rush hour while it's on fire. That's a commentary for November 13th, 2025. You can text us at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the crash we have on southbound I-5 getting into Seattle. We'll break it down for you next.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
7:43, Chris Sullivan is at the traffic desk.
And we are definitely working on hour-and-a-half drives now for between most of our major locations. So you're well behind schedule. The good news is we have cleared the crash on southbound I-5 at 45th that we had that kind of added to the mix. But we do have heavy braking from Lake City Way on down through the U District to go with the normal stuff in Linwood. And so it's an hour-and-a-half from Everett to Seattle, hour-and-a-half from Everett to Bellevue. And, of course, we hit $15 like forever ago. I haven't even had a chance to play the sounder because I feel bad for you guys because it's bumper to bumper all the way through Bothell and really down through Totem Lake. Northbound I-5 continues to struggle past the West Seattle Bridge. Right lane remains blocked there. bumper to bumper from the beginnings of Boeing Field. 50 minutes alone from South Center, hour and a half all the way from Federal Way. 509 and 99 are also really slow as well. We had an earlier problem just on the First Avenue South Bridge. It's out of the way, but the damage is done. Northbound I-5 struggling through Fife up to 18. Earlier crash right there by Highway 18. 35 minutes to Federal Way. That is a 15-minute delay. Also about a 15-minute delay southbound because of a crash by the Dome in the right-hand lane there. Valley Freeway is bumper to bumper from Sumner all the way through Pacific. Hour and 20-minute trip to go from Puyallup up into Renton. We're still looking at, the Maple Valley Highway is bumper to bumper from 18 all the way up past Cedar Crest and around the corner. I think that might have a lot to do with the fact that Highway 18 is closed on the west slope of Tiger Mountain for a crash impacting both directions. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Pretty darn wet for the morning hours. The steady rain should taper off to showers by afternoon, but you are going to get wet today. 57 the high. For tomorrow and right on through the weekend, look for scattered showers and highs in the mid-50s. Right now it's 53 in Seattle.
A man on TikTok who goes by Random Thoughts sure gave us one. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
Okay, so Mr. Random Thoughts has astigmatism, which is a common vision issue that causes light to focus unevenly on the retina and makes things very glowy. And he says when he sees a Christmas tree, it's extra special.
You mean to tell me people that have normal vision don't see, like, glowing stars when they look at a Christmas tree, when they look at the lights? I feel sorry for you people that have, like, normal vision. That's got to be boring.
Many are saying that's just not true, but his video did get around 8 million views.
Oh, and that's what it's about, is the clicks, right?
All for the clicks.
All right, Katrina, thank you. A word here is a showdown you won't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team, the Seahawks season in full swing. We want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. And if you don't have the app, just text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
Well, we have told you Starbucks workers across the country are striking today. Coming up, News Nation's Xavier Walton has the latest from around the country next on Seattle's Morning News.
Is your business ready for the holidays? Now that school's back in session, the shopping season is coming up fast, right, Brad?
Right, you are, Dave. And Wafat Bank is here to help businesses get ready. Whether you're looking to hire holiday staff, beef up your inventory, or start advertising, Wafat Bank can help make it happen with a business credit card, business loan, or line of credit.
Businesses need a lot of different tools to get the job done, and sometimes cash flow can be challenging. How can businesses make sure they're choosing the right option?
Our knowledgeable bankers can help look at individual plans and finances to go over which option might be the best fit. Wafat Bank has the tools and services to get that job done, whatever you might be looking for, including SBA lending options.
You know, there's nothing quite as reassuring as having a professional banker in your corner. Thanks, Brad. To learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why Wafed Bank was awarded Best Bank by Forbes and Newsweek numerous years in a row. Wafed Bank, built for business. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having good to go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money?
What an imbecile. Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas,
just let them know
Wise.
that we have a
They're
fine
faster, and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
It's Sky Nursery's first annual Greenhouse Winter Market, followed by the inaugural Shore Lights Winter Light Display, November 15th and 16th. All vendor fees support HopeLink, collecting food donations for neighbors in need. Event details at skynursery.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now, wherever you listen.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
7:49 now. More than 1,000 unionized Starbucks workers from dozens of stores across the country plan to strike this afternoon to protest what they call a lack of progress in labor negotiations with the company.
Oh, this is coming as Starbucks expects to see its best annual sales today. It's Red Cup Day.
And joining us with the latest is News Nation correspondent Xavier Walton. Okay, bring us up to speed. What are these union workers asking for, Xavier?
I mean, it's pretty, good morning, everybody. It's pretty easy. Anytime you're striking, usually it's, we want more money. We want better hours, better benefits. And that's where they're saying, you know what? I don't feel like we're getting what we are deserving of. And I tell you what, don't mess with somebody in their Starbucks. I don't have to tell you all that there in Seattle. It's pretty interesting to see kind of how this plays out or is playing out or starting to play out. The Red Cup Rebellion. It almost sounds like something like a Hunger Games sequel or something, like Red Cup Rebellion. But yeah, it's not by accident. The union and those laborers that are unionized, they're pretty clear about it. They want more money and they want better hours and they want better benefits.
We have several of these union organized stores here in Seattle. How many are there across the country?
I got to get the exact number, but there are, let's see, I'm looking here. I mean,
didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're good.
Manda.
I'm sorry, Xavier.
But there are dozens, and I'm looking at like all the different states that are going to be participating in the potential strike today. And you go up and down the list. Obviously, there's a bunch in California. You got Colorado, Illinois, Georgia, Minnesota. I mean, you name it. This could be, and somebody asked me earlier, how big is this going to be? I'm like, I mean, it has the potential of being huge, and picking Red Cup Day, which is like a massive cash cow for Starbucks, not by accident. They want to disrupt. They want to show people, hey, or show Starbucks, I shouldn't say people, show Starbucks, like, you really need us because, and then fill in the blank. But they would like to fill in the blank with a little more money at the end of the day when it comes to their wages.
Well, Xavier, what is Starbucks saying in response?
Well, they actually think what they're offering right now is fair, and I guess they're just not seeing eye to eye. Starbucks believes with their benefits, their wages, what they offer to their employees is all right in par, actually better than what most companies offer their unionized employees. But apparently, the head of the union is saying, we don't agree with that. And that's where, unfortunately, they're butting heads because on one end they say, hey, nope, we're good. And on the other, they're just, stalling. We're at a stalemate. And that's the unfortunate part. If Starbucks doesn't match the union's, requirements, there's no telling how long this could last. I'm really interested. It's still early on over there, so I really am interested to see as the day progresses if there is a real ripple effect and how much of an impact there is, because also there's rallies that are already set up across the country that are set to take place later on this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, you don't want to mess with somebody and get in their Starbucks. People get, there's hangry. People get angry when it comes to their Starbucks.
It's true. Why is Red Cup Day such a big deal? How important is it to Starbucks?
It's really important. It's because it's the unofficial, I shouldn't say unofficial, it's like the start to the holiday season. I hate to say this, I've been on TV this morning since 4 a.m. Central Time. So every time between live shots, I go in, I've been doing the sugar cookie latte. You order a festive drink, and then you get a free red cup to take home with you. So I'm hopped up on caffeine. But
couldn't tell.
It's a big day. It's a big day for Starbucks because a lot of people they'll come in, they'll get their free cup, they'll get their drink, and it's they'll start the holiday season. Let me just say the baristas have been in a good mood. They have nothing against the customers. It's just against Starbucks, the company. They still got the holiday spirit, which is nice, but
Well, I guess what we've learned this morning is do not get between News Nation's Xavier Walton and his Starbucks. Otherwise, there will be heck to pay.
You better watch out.
X-Man, thanks for joining us. It's 7:53. We head over to Sully for a check on traffic.
Didn't think it could get worse, but it did. We now have a second lane blocked on northbound I-5 at the West Seattle Bridge, so 2 right lanes are blocked for this crash that they're dealing with. It's an hour drive from South Center alone into downtown. That's a 20-minute delay just on that last little stretch there. Hour and a half to go all the way, so it is a very tough day. Northbound I-5, if you're coming up from Tacoma, you're well over 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes to make it up into Seattle, because you have a 35-minute trip to get you up from Tacoma to Federal Way. Earlier crash there. Backup begins at the Puyallup River Bridge. In the southbound direction there, we're still dealing with about a 10-minute delay because of a crash in the right lane by the Dome. Rest of the map, pretty ugly. Hour and 15-minute trip up the Valley Freeway. A lot of that is through Pacific. It is backed up through Sumner today. Then Renton to Bellevue is about 45 minutes. Out of the north end, hour and 25-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. The brake lights begin by the Mill Creek interchange. Coming down through Marysville, normal stuff there. 204 also running about 5 or 6 minutes behind schedule. And we're still working with this crash on Tiger Mountain. Not sure if all the highway is blocked there on the west slope, but we've been dealing with a pretty nasty crash there most of the morning. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Electrical issues? Call Home Comfort Alliance for EV chargers, standby generators, panel upgrades, and more. Save up to $1,000 at homecomfortalliance.com today.
Steady rain for the morning hours. Should taper off to showers by afternoon. We're headed for a high of 57 today. Right now it's 53 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Doozy live at SeaTac, where lions are beginning to grow. We'll have that coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify a key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No. We'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
What's your holiday tradition?
For me, it's gathering with loved ones, sharing stories, laughter, and a meal that brings everyone together. It's a moment of joy, connection, and comfort. It's G. Scott here. For too many families in our community, this tradition is slipping away. Rising costs, tough times, and uncertainty means some neighbors won't have the same chance to enjoy a holiday meal. That's where we can make a difference. When you shop at Safeway, please consider donating to Nourishing Neighbors. This program provides grocery cards to families across Washington, distributed through food pantries, schools, and community centers, so people can shop with dignity and choose the foods that make their holidays special. It's not just about food. It's about restoring hope, pride, and the ability to celebrate. Your donation helps ensure every neighbor has a place at the table this season. So next time you're at Safeway, take a moment to give. Visit nourishingneighbors.com to learn more. That's nourishingneighbors.com. Together, we can nourish everyone and make sure no one is left out this holiday season.
November 13th through 16th, Dimitro's Jazz Alley invites you to groove with the genre-defying sounds of Lettuce. This powerhouse band blends jazz, funk, soul, and hip-hop. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Two people who've squared off with President Trump say the federal cases against them should be tossed out. Attorneys for former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James are challenging the legitimacy of the prosecutor. Justice correspondent Scott McFarland.
They're both arguing that the lead prosecutor in each of their cases, Lindsay Halligan, the newly appointed U.S. attorney here in Virginia, the one-time Trump White House aide, was unlawfully appointed. And because it's her name on each case, the cases should be dismissed.
The federal government's getting back to business today. The 43-day shutdown now over. Everett Kelly, who heads a union that represents about 800,000 government workers, says it's been a struggle for many who've gone without a paycheck.
These are people that really want to work. These are people that, have a job, but to know that they got to resort to standing in line, long lines, to get food to eat for their families, it's not a pretty sight, and they were very devastated.
Officials warn it could be a while before airports get back to normal. About 1,000 flights have been canceled today. Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian on CBS Mornings.
Last couple days, the only cancellations that Delta had were the government-mandated cancellations for us, which is mostly on our smaller planes. And I expect by the weekend we're pretty much going to be full steam ahead.
The Pentagon says the military carried out a strike on an alleged drug boat this week. It happened in the Caribbean and killed 4 people on board. More than 30 people were hospitalized when there was a leak of anhydrous ammonia from a tanker truck in a hotel parking lot in Weatherford, Oklahoma.
We couldn't breathe. Like I thought I'm dying. I thought I'm going to quit running and just collapse on the floor.
Hundreds were evacuated from their homes. Bad news from West Virginia, where for days there's been a desperate search for a missing coal miner. His body has now been found.
Foreman Steve Lipscomb went missing Saturday in the Rolling Thunder mine after his crew struck an unknown pocket of water which flooded the mine. All week, crews had pumped out millions of gallons of water. This morning, the water levels were low enough for rescuers to go in. They had hoped to find Lipscomb alive in an air pocket. State Senator Jack Woodrum.
Many of these men, they haven't slept in days. So, keep all these people in your prayers.
West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey says the state will grieve together and stand together. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Former NFL star wide receiver Antonio Brown was released from a Miami jail this morning, released on $25,000 bail after pleading not guilty to second-degree attempted murder. Checking Wall Street. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 305 points. The NASDAQ is down more than 300. This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
8:03 Thursday morning, and it has been a rough commute, Sully.
Yeah, and we're starting this hour with a little bit of positivity. The crash that's really been causing the problem on northbound I-5 getting into downtown is out of the way. Both lanes of northbound 5 at the West Seattle Bridge have just reopened. Bad news is we have a bumper-to-bumper drive that starts at the beginning of Boeing Field, and you have about a 50-minute trip from South Center. So that's about a 15-minute delay through the area. Behind that, Federal Way on up isn't terrible. It's still about an hour and 25 minutes total to go from Federal Way to Seattle. Still struggling up the hill from Fife to Highway 18 after an earlier crash we had there. We have about a 30-minute trip to get you up to Federal Way. That's about 15 minutes behind schedule. Valley Freeway trying to get better in Auburn, but it's not quite done at the north end. Still have the brake lights up through Sumner through Pacific, so it's about an hour and 15 today. It's about 20 minutes slower than maybe you expected, even with the lane restrictions. Rented to Bellevue's at about 45 minutes, so not bad. Back under an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, but not by much. The brake lights begin just south of 128th and kind of extend down. Also about a 15-minute delay through the Marysville area, and it looks like we might have cleared a lane or two in the the westbound direction of 18 over Tiger Mountain, and maybe we've opened a lane. We've been working with a crash there. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
8:04 on the Thursday, November 13th, 2025 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Well, the battle for Seattle's mayoral seat has been intense and unpredictable, yet it appears Democratic Socialist Katie Wilson will step into the role.
Wilson holds a nearly 2,000 vote lead over Bruce Harrell. Democratic strategist Kathy Allen just spoke to Seattle's Morning News.
He is not one of these guys to ride things out in terms of just wait and see. He said he was going to wait for all the votes to be counted, which will be today. But after yesterday's vote count and putting it past the recount number, the fact is that I suspect he does say he's out of it.
Mayor Harrell says he will address the people of Seattle at noon today.
And Wilson addressed the media this week.
You know, I believe in good government, and I believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside City Hall to make sure that our city bureaucracy is really delivering for the people of Seattle. I'm really excited about that work.
On the U.S. House floor.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed.
Members voted last night to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Nearly every Democrat voted no, including Washington Representative Pramila Jayapal.
Shame on you. I'm a hell no on this bill.
6 Democrats did cross party lines, among them Washington Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. In a statement, she says, now it's time for Congress to get back to work and build an economy where people aren't yanked around by partisan interests.
Well, the government shutdown over for now, but it might be just the beginning of headaches for air travel. The FAA is ordering airlines to scale back by 6% today. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live at SeaTac Airport. Luke, what's the situation there?
Well, if you're like me, and let me put it this way, and you absolutely hate TSA lines and standing in them, especially when they're long. You know, I'm not even flying today. I felt pretty anxious, as I'm doing right now, walking around the corner here in the terminal at checkpoint 4, looking at the end of the line. And you know what? I would look at this if I were traveling and say, not only not bad, but pretty darn good. It has gotten so much better this morning. People just getting through the lines, lickety split. You know, that's despite the FAA ramping up, about 6% of total flights at 40 different airports, including SeaTac across the country, that have to be cut. Good news is that number will not go to 10%. We're supposed to go to 10% tomorrow. That will not happen. The FAA has frozen things in place at 6%. Despite all of the cancellations and delays we've seen here at SeaTac so far this morning, 17 delays, 65 cancellations, the vast majority Alaska Airlines. That makes sense. This is their hub after all. Let's talk about travelers, though. A mixed bag when it comes to their reaction and expectations. A lot of people expecting chaos. Some, like Connor, well, they're pretty angry.
Yeah, I was expecting really long lines, to be honest. When we came, we thought it was going to be chaos getting in, and we actually had to reschedule our flight today. So our first flight got canceled,
and they sat on the airport, he tells me, for 9 hours trying to get back into Nebraska. But then there are people like George.
Not really. That's what I was expecting, just in general. The rule of thumb is to show up a little early, so it's just been easy to just show up and get through it.
So the big question now is, when are the airlines going to get back up to speed at full capacity? A lot of analysts say by Christmas, but the airlines say they hope to get it all done and be up to speed by the Thanksgiving holiday. A lobby group, Airlines for America, adding that there will be some residual effects for some time moving forward. However, what are those residual effects? I don't know. I mean, could it be that, fewer peanuts and pretzels from the bar cart? I don't know. Let's hope it's not TSA lines. Charlie and Amanda, if there's anything we learned this morning, is that I hate long TSA lines. But looking good this morning so far.
Luke, thank you. It's 8:08.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Nick takes a couple days off, and all of a sudden he's mixing it up with the morning music. Thanks, Nick.
Turn on the VCR.
It's 8:09 on Seattle's Morning News, Thursday, November 13th. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here checking what has been a pretty messy commute today.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been rough. We're getting there, but yeah, not been pretty.
All right. Producer David Burbank is in the studio, and Katrina Gishard is at the news desk.
And coming up in this hour, Sully, you do have a choke point.
Yeah, something that people in Snohomish have been waiting for a long time. They're going to be widening SR 9 into the historic city, and that's going to be a very, very good thing for that area.
Also, G. Scott will stop by. He's going to weigh in on why Seattle's ranking as a sports city is so low.
At 8:09, the Redmond City Council has now formalized its suspension of the city's automated license plate reading system with a 5-0 vote. This is Council Member Melissa Stewart.
To the community who was caught off guard by the implementation of the license plate readers, I hear you.
Last week, at the City Council's request, the Redmond Police Chief agreed to turn off the so-called flock cameras. At a special council meeting last night, the council said the suspension allows time for more community discussion about privacy concerns and vendor trustworthiness. The council plans to take up the issue next week.
The owner of a North Seattle tattoo shop is speaking out, hoping the public can help identify a suspect that spent 10 hours trying to break in with a crowbar over the weekend. Ralph says what hurts the most about the attempt is that his shop is also a community space, recently organizing help for neighbors who have lost SNAP food benefits.
We're out here trying to be active members of the community and uplift people, bring people together. So it just leaves a big question mark as to why.
Last year, thieves did break in and stole thousands of dollars worth of tattoo equipment.
A disturbing lawsuit in Whatcom County. A female detective claims a colleague used AI to create a sexual video of her and shared it with the entire sheriff's office. The $30 million tort claim has prompted Sheriff Donald Tanskley to open investigations into both the video and workplace culture. John Rizvi is a law professor and spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
You need to criminalize this so that if they don't have money, they'll lose their freedom, that there's something at stake in moving forward and creating these types of videos.
The detective is now on paid leave.
The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says a man armed with 2 samurai-style swords was arrested Tuesday.
He threatened a resident, smashed car windows, and caused chaos before barricading himself in his home, even threatening deputies. The East Cascade SWAT team eventually moved in and arrested him. Now faces multiple charges, including second-degree assault.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
More low-income children will soon have access to pre-kindergarten here in Washington. Ballmer Group, co-founded by former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer, is putting up $170 million a year for the next 10 years for the state's Early Childhood Education and Assistance Program, which provides free preschool to 3- and 4-year-olds. Governor Ferguson says his help comes during a very challenging economic time.
To, as a state, not simply be treading water, but to be in a position we can not just expand, but expand dramatically is something I'm deeply appreciative of.
The money will pay for up to 10,000 children's preschool each year.
It's 8:12. That's time for a check on the weather. Boy, it is wet this morning. Brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
Still have some rain out there. It's going to be like this throughout most of the day until about mid to late afternoon, then tapering off to showers. But between now and then, I do think some of the showers could be heavier, so you can count on it just being an interestingly soaking wet day with gusty conditions and temperatures hanging around the at least mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow will be showery, kind of rainy in the morning, and then showers in the afternoon, and we'll still keep some scattered showers going for Saturday. That's probably the drier weekend day, but showers are going to continue on Sunday, and then with a few to start next week, it also cools off with highs back into the 40s.
Right now in Seattle, cloudy, raining, and 53.
At 8:13, it's time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
20-minute delays are what you're going to face before you even step foot in the car and turn the key. That's what we have. Coming up from the north, coming up from the south end, we have very heavy brake lights up the Fife Hill to Highway 18. From Tacoma to Federal Way, it's still 35 minutes. We had an earlier crash at Highway 18, so that's a 20-minute delay there alone. And then you have about an hour and a half from Federal Way to Seattle. It's 55 minutes to an hour just from South Center. We had a crash blocking 2 lanes for a while right at the West Seattle Bridge. It's out of the way, but that's the damage has been done. Also, you're seeing very heavy brake lights on the West Seattle Bridge trying to get over to I-5. Valley Freeway trying to get better out of Auburn, but boy, it's a struggle coming up from Sumner through the lane restrictions. Hour and 10-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue is running right around 45 minutes, so no joy there. Coming down out of the north end, hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Hour and 10 of that just from Linwood. That's about a 20-minute delay there as well. The lake bridges, fortunately, are hanging in there. They're not terrible, but they're starting to see a little bit of westbound slowing. And it looks like we might have cleared the westbound lanes for this crash on the west slope of Tiger Mountain, but we do have a pretty heavy eastbound backup there as you try to make your way around. So we've got work to do. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's now 8:14, and Russia's first humanoid AI robot debuted this week. We get more live from KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard.
Things definitely did not go as planned. The robot named A-Idol was introduced by developers, but as it walked onto stage to the theme of Rocky, the machine lost its balance and fell down face first. Staffers were left scrambling to pick it up while another person tried to hide it behind a curtain. The company that created the robot later explained the robot is still in its testing phase, clearly.
We all just chuckled.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Did you see the video?
It's like, look,
yeah.
I can't do it.
Thank
Humans
goodness.
are still fine.
And by the way, thank you for the second Rocky reference this morning. I think tomorrow, maybe next week. Let's shoot for 3.
Okay.
8:15 now.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, it's one of the worst non-freeway choke points in our region. We're talking about northbound Highway 9 getting into Snohomish.
And if you've ever tried it during the afternoon commute, you know the pain. Sully's here with news of a fix that's a long time coming.
Yep, work is finally underway now to widen SR9 and build a new Snohomish River Bridge just to the west of the historic downtown of Snohomish. Hundreds of thousands of people have moved to that area over the last 20 years, and this old rural road just cannot handle the congestion. Now, to set the scene, if you haven't been up there, northbound 9 loses a lane at Marsh Road. It goes from 2 lanes down to 1. This is just west of the airport there, Harvey Field, and next to all the fun farms south of town. The highway backs up every afternoon, and it can be unbearable on Fridays. WashDOT's Della Colstanique Juarez says that should change with this project.
We're going to build a new bridge just west of the current bridge and widen State Route 9 south of that. We're also going to put a bridge over an overflow area, and we're going to repair and paint the old bridge.
If you're up on our YouTube live channel, you can see some video I shot, some first-person video kind of showing what you're doing there at the Snohomish River Bridge. I both went north and southbound through the area. You can see it's a pretty tight squeeze there. So what this all means is that 2 lanes will now continue northbound from Marsh Road across the river and up to the Snohomish exit at 2nd Street. That's where the traffic will merge back to 1 lane. The existing bridge will eventually handle the northbound direction of traffic. The new bridge over the river will handle the southbound traffic. Pile driving for the new bridge is expected to start shortly, and Colstanique Juarez says it's going to have an impact.
It's going to be loud. Progress is painful sometimes, and we acknowledge that this is going to be uncomfortable for some people because the pile driving is going to take place for probably several months into early spring.
The widening will start early next year. The new bridge should be finished in 2027. Then the old bridge will be restored and repainted, and the entire project should wrap up in 2028. So we still have a long time to go, but this will make a vast improvement in that area. Now, the project also includes new on and off ramps at 2nd Street. If you've ever tried to get onto the highway there, that ramp to southbound I-9 is downright scary. Very limited room, very limited sight line.
when I went out there to look at the area. That was my first time taking that on-ramp. I don't mind telling you, my hairs went up a little bit on my arms. Yeah, both the ramps are going to be redone. It's going to be a lot safer, a lot easier for people.
Now, obviously, where you're redoing and widening a road, you expect a lot of impact to the highway. Well, there could be limited impact, actually, on this SR9 construction because the new bridge is to the west of the existing one, and WashDOT's Marcus Hamburg says they plan to keep the lanes open as much as possible.
The goal is to establish a work zone, and it's just going to shift traffic, the 2 lanes in each direction, a little bit over to establish that work zone, and then most of the widening work will happen kind of behind barriers.
A full schedule of lane and ramp closures still being developed. You'll be able to see all this preliminary work and likely hear the pile driving as you head out to your favorite Snohomish County Christmas tree farm over the next couple of weeks, or if you're doing a little Christmas antiquing in Snohomish. The project price tag, $142 million.
Now, a listener texted us a little earlier saying, okay, this is nice, Sully, but this is just moving the choke point down the road.
That is, and I could see that. I understand that. What they're doing is they're going to widen about a mile of the road, and 3/4 of that is going to be north of where the merge is. So hopefully that'll give 2 lanes a little chance to get there, and then maybe the assumption is that people who are going into Snohomish will now get off at SR2 where we lose that lane. And so that will allow people who are trying to go into downtown, Old Town there in Snohomish will be able to get that, and maybe we'll free things up. But he's right. I mean, a lot of people now go up a little further towards Bickford and places like that, new roundabout there. Depends on where you're going, but it should really help because if you're trying to get to 2nd Street in Old Downtown or even to cut over through Snohomish to get to Highway 2, that's this should help. But I get the point. Trust me, I understand it.
Manda, I just want you to know I went and I checked Chris's script there. He said fun farms, not funny farms. Totally different thing.
No, there are a lot of great. I mean, if you've ever been to any of the the Stalker farms or the family farms,
fun.
They're fun. They've got great Halloween events and Christmas events. So I'm just trying to set the area for you if you're not familiar. But maybe you go up there once a year to a pumpkin patch or do some go to a Christmas tree farm up there. Very popular area, grown like crazy, and the infrastructure just hasn't kept up.
A little bit earlier this morning when we were talking about this, you kind of under your breath said, something I like to do on antiquing. And it piqued my interest because you don't strike me as an antiquer.
Well,
I learned something new about you this morning.
Explain yourself.
Basically,
it's a great place to do it.
I like old stuff because it reminds me of my youth. And also, Holly, my wife, loves blue glass and Depression era glass as well. And so Tommy and I always used to go up there, and we still do go find. Not that she needs any more blue glass. Our house is blue glass, basically nothing but blue glass. But we like going to some of the old shops there, looking at some of the old fun things. The old Sports Illustrateds. I showed Tom. So just some of the other stuff. They have glassware from the old Burgervilles or the McDonald's and stuff, old albums and stuff. So it's just kind of fun to look around. We don't really buy much else other than that, but it's just kind of a fun thing to do. Kind of reminds me of the stuff I had as a kid.
I was going to ask if barrel-aged whiskey counts as an antique, because I bet you enjoy that as
I could a little bit. And of course, there are plenty of distilleries and cider houses and breweries to go to off of Highway 9 there too. Then hopefully that will, or if you want to go skydiving, hopefully we'll get you there into Harvey Field a little bit better as well. That area is growing by leaps and bounds. There's a nice little driving range right there by the farms. So yeah, it's a fun place. They need some help, but yeah, antiquing is fine.
Okay, I can just see the reality show now, Sully and Tommy going out antiquing.
It's called American Pickers. It's been on the air for 20 years, Charlie. Thanks for paying attention.
It's one of the only current shows that Sully watches.
Well, I did watch it last night.
Well, ahead of Sully's check on traffic, today might be your last chance this year to cross the state on the scenic North Cascades Highway.
KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors reports on a temporary shutdown.
With heavy snow canvassing the Cascade Peaks mixed with rain at times, State Route 20, the North Cascades Highway, could face avalanche threats. For safety reasons, WashDOT plans to close the highway at 5 p.m. Thursday between Ross Dam Trailhead and Silver Star Gate. That's mileposts 134 through 171. Crews will reassess conditions on Monday. If it is deemed unsafe to reopen, WashDOT will close it down for the season. It'll mark the earliest seasonal closure by 1 day. The standing record is November 18th of last year. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
At 8:23, traffic on the threes. Chris is keeping an eye on the roads.
And it looks like we're picking up the pace just a little bit. A lot of the volume has moved through the rain. A lot of the accidents have cleared for a while, and we've done a good job of keeping out of each other's way for the last little bit. So about a 5-minute pickup is what we're seeing across the board. You're still way behind, but we're getting there. Like if you're going from Federal Way to Seattle, it's back under an hour and a half, not by much, but we're back down to about 55 minutes to go from the beginnings of Boeing South Center all the way up into the downtown core. We had a long-term crash at the West Seattle Bridge. However, as I'm saying that, I see we have a new crash right by the Boeing access road. So sorry, I guess I jinxed it. So looking at that, plus we have about a 15-minute drive 15-minute delay getting up from Tacoma through Fife up to 18. That drive is really struggling today. Earlier crash there as well, 35 minutes to Federal Way. So we're still pretty close, 2 hours to make that drive from Tacoma to Seattle. Puyallup up to Renton, still over an hour and 5 minutes. It's really thick from Sumner through the work zone today, but not bad in Auburn. But because struggling at the north end, then 45 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. We're back under an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Not by much, hour and 25. Still about an hour of that alone from Linwood. The Lake Bridges are hanging in there, though there is some westbound slowing on both. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Steady rain this morning, tapering off to showers for the afternoon. We're headed for a high of 57 for today. Tomorrow, it'll be Friday. Look for showers at times, 54, and then through the weekend, pretty much the same deal. Those showers stick with us into the first part of next week. It's 53 in Seattle right now.
All right, Allie has a suggestion on the text line to call it the Antique Conduit Show.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure what you do with antique conduits besides throw them away.
We'd never do that to you, Sully. All right, coming up on Seattle's Morning News, a look at why the Seattle Police Department is placing guardrails on how its officers use artificial intelligence.
There's two types of people.
The G and Ursula Show.
The ones that use a washcloth or a loop of sponge.
Okay. Weekdays 9 to noon.
The other are bare hand bandits. They just grab the soap. Growing up, my delegation, we always use washcloths.
Hate to break it to you, but I think my hand's going to be much better than this brush.
Yeah, what? I am uncomfortable.
Really?
Rubbing all over myself without there being a buffer.
Watch live on YouTube and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. Well, the final count is not in. Momentum appears to be on Katie Wilson's side.
The Democratic Socialist has nearly 2,000 votes over Bruce Harrell, putting her on track to win. Democratic strategist Kathy Allen just spoke to Seattle's Morning News.
Katie Wilson seemed more like the kind of person these young people have been talking about in regards to the politics of change. So I think that's what happened. It's those young voters got out of bed, voted in time, and lo and behold, this is what we have.
No topic given, but Harrell says he'll speak to the people of Seattle today at noon. A recount is still possible, though a lot of media outlets are calling the race for Wilson.
Well, Congress may have ended the shutdown, but that won't stop airport chaos. The FAA says airlines must cut flights by 6%, tightening schedules and clogging security lines nationwide.
And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live from SeaTac Airport with more. Luke, are the lines getting any better?
Yeah, they are, actually. They were really bad early this morning. They've gotten better. But when I say that, there's been no snaking in the TSA line. Just straight shot. You go in and pretty lickety-split, you're good to go. You can see for yourself if you're watching on our YouTube feed. We've been playing video that I've been sending back all morning long. Let's talk about those delays and cancellations, though. By the way, the FAA holding that 6% to 6%. Frozen in place now. Not going to jump to 10% of all flights at 40 different airports tomorrow. 17 delays, 65 cancellations. That's where we are right now, holding tight there at SeaTac. Mostly Alaska Airlines. This is their hub, after all. Travel expectations, man, I've been talking with a lot of people this morning. It is a mixed bag. There are a lot of people happy that it's running pretty smoothly this morning. Others, though, like Garrett, foreshadowing chaos.
I was nervous. I thought my flight was going to get cut, to be honest. Plain and simple.
even with the government back up and running officially last night. I mean, it's going to take some time for these airlines to catch up on their operations. The airlines hope they get all that back up and ready and on time and all the goodness by the Thanksgiving travel holiday. A lot of analysts think, wishful thinking. They're looking more like by Christmas. We're live at SeaTac. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Luke. It's 8:33 now. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And it turns out we have another crash on Highway 18, this one down the hill from I-5. This one in the right lane as you work your way about 2/3 of the way down the hill. And that's causing even more slowing again on northbound I-5 coming up from Fife. So we're back up to 35 to 38 minutes now to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. A solid 20-minute delay there, and then an hour and 20-minute drive to make it from Federal Way into Seattle, with about 52 of those minutes from South Center. So it's been very difficult. Want to thank our good friend Adam, who's out driving his Staples truck around today. Let me know that the crash I talked about 10 minutes ago right there at the Boeing Access Road has already moved over to the shoulder. As soon as I mentioned it, he drove right by it and he'd already gotten it taken care of. But that's a little why you see a little bit of braking coming out of the top of the Duwamish curve there over the river. Now to the Valley Freeway, getting better in Auburn, but boy, we still are struggling through Pacific, getting up through the lane restrictions there. Hour and 10-minute trip still, and then 45 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Coming down from the north end, back under an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. About an hour of that drive alone just from the Linwood area, so it's a pretty typical heavy day that we're having there as you work your way away from Linwood. Lake bridges are still doing okay. You need about 25 minutes to go from Bellevue to Seattle at this point, which is manageable. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Country's rising star Chase Matthew hits the Emerald Queen Casino on December 7th. Don't miss your chance to see one of country's boldest of new voices, that is, only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Well, the rain is pretty heavy in spots this morning. Should be just showers for the afternoon, 57 today. Tomorrow, Friday, and right on through the weekend, showers at times with highs in the mid-50s. Right now it's 53 in Seattle.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
It's 8:35 in today's Tech Talk, part 2 of our look at how Seattle police are now weighing new rules for artificial intelligence after a recent internal discovery set off alarms with watchdog groups.
More and more police departments around the country are using AI to catch the bad guys, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey spoke with one of them.
Last August, Seattle's Office of Police Accountability received a complaint that a sworn officer used ChatGPT and Grammarly to help draft internal emails and blue team reports. Reports used to document things like citizen complaints, pursuits, and any use of force during an arrest. And the use of AI in preparing those reports is now raising red flags among police watchdog groups. However, police departments from New York City to Detroit to San Francisco use AI every day. Anchorage, Alaska Police Captain Amanda Fisher tells me they launched a pilot program to write police reports, but found
there were a couple of times where the accuracy was not complete, and they had to make changes to bring it up to the actual statement of fact.
It's the very thing that raises serious flags for those watchdog groups like the Electronic Privacy Information Center and Callie Schroeder, because
you can't necessarily count on it to be fully accurate in what it's doing. And with something like a police report, you really need it to be fully accurate.
Anchorage officers ended up not using AI for their reports.
They preferred writing them by themselves versus using the AI product that we were trying out.
They do use an AI platform called Closure to sift through massive data files,
searching for the needle in the haystack
for key pieces of evidence. Long suspect interviews, jailhouse phone recordings.
Within the first day of using the program for one of our investigators, that was what he did. He loaded some jail calls into the system and asked the question of, tell me about when he made admissions of guilt. And that would have taken that detective hours to find by listening to it, and had that information within minutes.
The use of AI to investigate suspects and even help write criminal referrals meant to persuade prosecutors to file charges is stirring debate. Fisher tells me their team takes the ethical and even possibly moral responsibility of that technology seriously. King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office spokesperson Casey McNerthney says they won't accept any criminal referral created with AI, at least for now.
We don't want King County to be the guinea pig for the rest of the nation.
And State Attorney General Nick Brown agrees there should be guardrails on AI and law enforcement, but admits putting them in place will be easier said than done.
Because the law is undefined and the tech changes so quickly.
And, like a lot of others, he believes, on one hand, AI could create new challenges for law enforcement. However, on the other,
we can use those tools to streamline the work that they're doing so they can be more efficient and save taxpayers money. I think that's an exciting possibility.
The right answer, if there is one, might be somewhere between watchdog groups and Schroeder.
Really important to have police officers put down their thoughts and their memories immediately after an event happens.
And departments like Anchorage already using AI.
We're not implementing robots and removing the investigators. We're just adding tools to the toolbox that they utilize in these investigations.
Now, Seattle police can use the city's AI policy as a guide. They're currently developing an AI policy of their own.
Speaking of AI, two of Hollywood's top stars are going into business with a company to clone their unique voices for AI.
Oscar-winning actors Michael Caine and Matthew McConaughey have partnered with voice cloning company 11 Labs. Caine's famous, of course, for his Cockney accent.
I have a rhythm to my voice, which is what makes it sound like me. That's what it is.
Then there's McConaughey.
All right.
And his languid twang.
Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be.
Caine says the technology celebrates humanity by amplifying voices, not replacing them. McConaughey plans to use the AI to voice his newsletter in Spanish. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Amplifying, not replacing. Got it?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Right.
It'll be just fine. Okay, it's a showdown you don't want to miss. Sam Darnold versus his old team. The Seahawks season is in full swing. We want to send you and 3 friends to the November 30th game. All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. You don't have the app? Well, you just need to text app 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. You can enter daily to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, November 17th.
It's 8:39. What's coming up in traffic, Sully?
We're going to take a look at the northbound I-5 drive out of Tacoma. Still struggling up to 18. We'll break it down next.
The Jake and Spike Show.
If you guys are not watching on YouTube, you're missing a sight.
Weekdays noon to 3.
Luke Ducey joining us now in studio. People think he's a handsome fellow. Welcome to the show, Luke.
I thank you for saying that.
Well, I didn't say it. People in the audience say it.
Well, you're why we got the new cameras and lighting.
Nice. Oh,
they weren't doing that for us. Are you wearing like pancake makeup?
Like Edward Cullen. I've been tanning.
Now, Edward's, is he the
he's a vampire.
Vampire from Twilight, right?
In the sun.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Ooh, hey, remember those yodelers we met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart. You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
8:43, Chris Sullivan is watching these wet roadways for us.
And they really haven't relented yet. We're still working on hour-and-a-half drives between some of our major commuting hubs. And I'm going to start with the drive from Tacoma up through Federal Way. It is still bumper to bumper from just after the Puyallup River Bridge all the way up to Highway 18. We had an earlier crash on the I-5 corridor itself, and we're now working with another crash on eastbound 18 about halfway down the hill towards Military Road in the right-hand lane, and that's backing us up on the freeway as well. It's still 35 minutes to go from Tacoma to Federal Way. That is a 20-minute delay. Then it's not terrible through the Kent Des Moines Road. There are brake lights through South Center, a little bit there beginning at the beginnings of Boeing Field where we have this crash over on the shoulder. Still about 45 to 50 minutes from South Center to downtown, and about an hour and 20 all the way. So we're getting there. Valley Freeway is good in Auburn, but it's not at 180th from South Renton into 405, and then you're really struggling getting up through the lane restrictions in Pacific. Hour and 10-minute trip for you guys today. And then Renton to Bellevue, we're still working with about a 45-minute trip, also picking up action through Factoria over the top of I-90. Lake Bridges, both of them, you need about a half an hour to go from Bellevue to Seattle. Nothing in the way, just some volume. Out of the north end, the brake lights begin right around 128th on South I-5, and then really kind of continue away from Linwood, both on 5 and 405. Still over an hour and a half, with an hour and 10 of that just from the Linwood area to get you to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors offering 0% interest for 60 months and 15% off new windows and doors. LakeWashingtonWindow.com.
And our forecast, lots of rain this morning. It should calm down in the afternoon. Still showers, but not the steady rain we've seen around today. For tomorrow, look for showers, a few sunbreaks a possibility, but for the most part, just scattered showers tomorrow, right on through Sunday, and highs in the mid-50s. It's 53 in Seattle right now.
Some retailers are putting holiday spirit at the top of their wish list. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
With the holiday shopping season already underway,
I'm just trying to get through the holidays.
Get through? Christmas is the greatest day in the whole wide world.
Target has a new guest engagement program for its employees. It's called the 10-4 policy. If a customer is 10 feet away, employees have to smile. And if a customer is 4 feet away, they have to greet them. Not only have customers said no thanks, some female employees say they're just not feeling the policy.
Kind of take me back to when people said, oh my God, girls need to smile more because they look happier and prettier and stuff. And it's just like, this is not it.
And some customers say, just let me shop in peace.
This has been a thing in retail for a while. Yeah. I remember working at TJ Maxx 10 years ago, and I don't know if it was the 10-4, I think it was 6 and 6 or something like that. But yeah, you have to greet a customer if you're within 6 feet of them, and you have to smile at them and all of that good stuff. And as a customer, I don't really like that. I kind of want to be left alone to shop. I'll ask a question if I need to know something.
Yeah, Katrina, you don't want it to feel like a car dealership.
But here we are.
So here we are. Okay, thank you.
It's 8:46, and coming up, G. Scott weighs in on whether Seattle is a top sports city. That's next on Seattle's Morning News.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, Basically, bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage. The VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
I don't believe it. This is shenanigans. This is tomfoolery, this new survey. And G. Scott is here. We're talking about this Wallet Hub study, I'm making air quotes, saying that Seattle is not much of a sports city. They say we rank number 13 in the nation as football fans. I don't believe it, G. Scott.
You disagree?
It ranks Los Angeles, the city that has lost NFL teams not once, but twice, as number 7. And they say Seattle is a lesser football city than L.A.?
Well, you're going like football.
We just got
city
2 Tasmanian Devils this morning.
Go,
Charlie.
He's calm this morning.
You're confusing it. Well, let's go. I'm calm because I was listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
First, right now, they did across 63 large U.S. cities right now. Seattle ranks number 13 in totality as far as being a sports town.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, they have out here, they have San Francisco at number 7. They have Los Angeles at number 2. And number 1, it's Boston.
Yeah.
That's true.
Agreed.
It's not even close. Now, when you want to start talking about L.A., when you talk about totality of sports, the Lakers have been a thing for years, right? And yeah, the football team in and out and all those things. But remember, they also had the L.A. Raiders at one point. They also right now have the L.A. Chargers.
And USC. USC is always selling
right?
out.
USC, UCLA, basketball, John Wooden. But go ahead. What are you going to say, Charlie?
When they rank it as an individual, so they rank L.A. as the number 7 football town in all of America, and Seattle, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. They rank us as number 16?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
So now let's get to the football, right? You're going out of order, Charlie.
I apologize.
All right.
Worked up about this, G.
Okay, all right, fair. So you don't like where they have Seattle ranked when it comes to this. Well, okay. Who they have number 1? Pittsburgh. Would you agree? Football?
Yep.
All right. Number 3, Green Bay. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Sure.
Number 6, New York. I mean,
do they like the Giants and Jets in New York?
I mean, but just think about the East Coast media, the bias, you're talking about the football giants, always are stories, right? And San Francisco, number 7. Believe it or not, guys, I actually think this is legit. This is legit. And by the way, Seattle, you've been doing this thing as far as football, but Seattle is not there when you compare to the East Coast. And I love Seattle.
I mean, if you think about the way the Seahawks have been viewed, even though they're kind of out of the spotlight, even before their Super Bowl run, coming into what it was, the Kingdom and then the Clink, we've always had the best fans, and that's been a national thing. So I do feel like we're a little low rated there.
I'm gonna come. By the way, I'm gonna come back to the total reason why I agree with some of these things, and I hope you guys can get it. And then baseball. I mean, number 1, LA. They have number 1. Number 3, they have Atlanta. They have baseball as far as for the Mariners. Where did that go? 18.
What?
Do you guys disagree?
Not this year.
It's hard to say.
Okay, all right. But if we were saying this last year or when it was 20-something years before we went to the playoffs, you'd be like, I kind of agree. I was really impressed with the soccer, right? Seattle ranks number 3 in the country as far as soccer. Number 1 is LA. Number 2 is Orlando. Let me get to, so some of you all might be mad at me, like, gee, I can't believe you are like this. I can't believe that you think that Seattle. Here's good news and bad news. The bad news is G agrees with these rankings. I don't think Seattle is as high as many people think. Here's the good news.
Yeah.
One of the number 1 reasons why Seattle is ranked where it is, because there's other things to do. If you go to Pittsburgh, what the hell are you going to do in Pittsburgh? You know what I'm saying? We got the best air. We got mountains, hiking. We got stuff to do. We're not just a sports town. We have other things to do. Ain't nobody doing nothing in all these other towns.
Nice positive spin. I'm impressed.
Well, impressed enough for me to stay?
No, you have to go.
Sully has traffic for us.
And we have a new crash to tell you about in Lakewood, northbound I-5. 2 lanes blocked for a rollover right there at 512. Pretty nasty looking crash, and we're backing up quickly over 45 minutes from Tacoma to Olympia to Tacoma and growing. The rest of the map's still pretty rough. We've got about an hour and a half drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, hour and 25 from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway, hour and 15. And Renton to Bellevue's jumped up to about 50 minutes. I'm looking for a crash right around 30th. Haven't found it yet, but I know it's there. This traffic report brought to you by me, KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Steady rain for the morning hours, showers for the afternoon, and a high today of 57. It's 53 in Seattle now.
Coming up, the G and Ursula Show with more on the government shutdown and their take on what's happened on Capitol Hill.
It could be official as soon as today. Seattle will have a new mayor.
Stay with KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com for the latest.
Is Mayor Harrell going to concede at noon today?
Seems like to me that's what he's going to do.
From the trusted Northwest News voices you depend on.
Seattle has spoken for Katie Wilson.
We're going to wait for everything to be counted, but I feel that we've won this race.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years. That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives. We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day. And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us, clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations. So next time you're at the grocery store, skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them. Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Fred Meyer, QFC, or Amazon Fresh. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma's